Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper Viperland, and I swear I'm still off center somehow. Ow. Alright, well, whatever. Keep fixing my camera. At least I got no flashbang tonight. Hey, Ramen. Hey, Fear. How's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. We're back. House of Fata Morgana. Exactly where we left off, with no music, as always. That's how it is. What do you mean, pro? My camera's a little off center. It's really just where I'm sitting. I guess I'm leaning this way tonight, instead of leaning this way tonight. It is Jacopo time. There is also a storm going on in the background, so here's hoping power stays on, and here's double hoping it's not super loud on the mic when the thunder hits. So, cool. It literally started up like 5 minutes ago. So we gonna see. I don't think we're supposed to have severe storms tonight, so it's probably just a passing thunder bit. So, you know. Staring into a pair of ruby red eyes, open wide with shock. I recall snapping at him, insulting him, but I don't remember what I said. Nor do I remember how he responded. All I know is that a wave of churning blackness appeared out of nowhere, washing me away. I'm powerless, helpless, hopeless. My young mind sucked into it like a whirlpool. Young? My young mind? Oh, for Christ's sake. You've got to be kidding me. Why? For the love of God, why? I'm being made to look back at this part of my life. The miserable, stupid, fucking romantic I once was. Why am I turning back into the boy I try so hard to forget? Where did this absurd black smoke come from? Why can't I get out of it? If it's that white-haired man who's doing this to me, then he's not an angel or a prophet. He's the goddamn devil himself. Cursed Sundays. Well, I mean, it's probably just passing, so hopefully not cursed. It's me, so I'm kidding. But all my questions, my confusion, my frustration, everything that composes my present, is superseded by that darkness, whispering away into nothing. Uh-oh. Okay. To be blunt, the world's a small place. There's an unimaginable amount of it out there, but you only ever get to see a minuscule fraction of that. And that goes doubly so for us. The poor barely get a chance to see any of it all. And those who were born into affluence, well, they have no idea just how small our world really is. I never yearned for the world outside what I knew. I more coveted it, a splash of spite mixed in. I wanted to claw my way up the mountain, knock all the bastards down who had never seen what it was like at the bottom. If I made it high enough, I could do anything. I would have complete freedom. Oh, it is new music, yeah. That sounds like a childish fantasy to you? Well, you'd be right. It's exactly what it was. There you are. You spent so much time in the graveyard that one of these days someone's going to think you're a gravekeeper, or maybe a grave robber. I understand being a gravekeeper, but I take offense at the suggestion I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for the souls who have no one to see them off. The girl, named Morgana, turned around to face me. Though I'd known her for some time, I'd rarely ever looked her in the eyes. Her face was almost always concealed beneath a dark hood, revealing only the tip of her nose and sometimes her lips. They're really, maybe I just don't encounter people with hoods very often. I feel like in media, wearing a hood conceals everything. But I feel like, let's say hypothetically I see someone wearing a hoodie, I feel like I can kind of see most of their face. Shadowed perhaps, but you know. But I'm guessing this is much more elaborate. That's also true. The point is usually a head covering or warmth, not obfuscation. So, that's fair. It does make it stupid hard to see. That's also true. Yeah, I guess you can do one of two things. You can see clearly, or you can hide your face with a hood. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much? These are souls that have no one else to pray for them. At best, they may get a bit of lip service from a priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor. To pray for the abandoned souls. What I don't get is why you need to pray for the dead at all. They're just bags of bones. Hope you enjoyed an eternity and hope you enjoy an eternity in hell, blasphemer. Hey, that was uncalled for. Just joking, obviously. You take black humor to a new level. Morgana gave me a curt shrug and turned away. She never faced anyone head-on for very long, and she had a perfectly good reason for it. It wasn't because she disliked me or anything. I don't think, anyway. About 3 years earlier, something had happened that caused large patches of flesh to fall off her face. Yes, you did. Supposedly, she had looked fine before then, but I only knew her as she was at the time. The rest of her body was covered in wounds as well, but applying ointment to them had reduced the scarring significantly. That's a start. It's a shame they can't, get the skin back on the face. But also, a lot of this whole situation is a shame, so, Sorry, got to drink. Her face, though, showed no signs of recovering. A close friend of mine, prostitute, said she thought it might be a psychological thing, but regardless, I continued applying the ointment to Morgana's face. Hey, come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. Raw ointment, so let me put it on you. It's a waste of time. You don't know that. The arms look much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing too. The ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money. It's my money. I can use it however I please, so just shut up and let me do this. You're a very obnoxious man, What was that? You want me to rub it in real hard, huh? Fine. The forlorn graveyard as their backdrop, a young man applied salve to a girl's raw, exposed flesh. It's quite possibly the least romantic sight in the world. I would have, at the very least, preferred a somewhat more pleasant location. As the thought fluttered through my mind, I let out a defeated laugh, and I could soon feel her glaring at me. Morgana could be a bit standoffish, but honestly, I didn't mind. For her, this was actually quite sociable, in fact. When I first met her, she didn't act her age at all, but now she was starting to show signs of the 12-year-old girl hidden inside. 3 years prior, when I met Morgana, she had been the victim of unspeakable abuse at the hands of the Lord. I didn't know why he had done those things to her. And I didn't ask either, because I knew doing so would only reopen old wounds, metaphorically. Oh, what did he get? You missed. Well, congrats. That will for sure get used. Also, Herrick, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing? All I knew was that the Lord was so far gone as a human being as to brutally torture a 9-year-old girl. At the time, the only thing that ever seemed to come out of her mouth was the word of God. Everything she said or did was ostensibly for the benefit of others, but it felt to me more like she was acting out of some sort of sense of duty rather than genuine concern. Honorable, but ultimately hollow. I much prefer this Morgana, even if she could be a bit jaded. What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face? I'm not trying to get anything, I just want you to heal up. Here I thought you were going to try and make me work at the brothel. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not going to make you be a prostitute? What other reason could you have for wanting my face to get better? Because I want to see it. Isn't that enough? Just so we're clear, that wasn't me hitting on you, okay? The thought never occurred to me. She fell quiet, sitting there motionless as I rubbed ointment into her face. Also, hey Birdie, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing today? Hope your Sunday's gone well. Your weekend's gone well. Spider-Man packs. Okay. Cool. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not worried about Spider-Man yet. Got more stuff coming up first. Spider-Man's coming up soon. It's what, end of September, I think. But the next thing coming out is actually the upcoming Disney Lorcana, which I've only opened like a small box of once on stream. I think I might get a bigger box of the new set, because the new set has Goofy Movie cards, and I feel like almost everyone my age is a sucker for a Goofy Movie, so, I might have to. We'll see. Wanted a couple more packs? Yeah, why not? Her skin beneath my thumb was rough and unpleasant to the touch, and honestly, rather stomach-turning. It's hard to imagine her face would ever heal. What I'd said about wanting to see her face was true. But what I wanted more than anything was for her to be able to live a relatively normal life. I hope you're prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. That possibility is just a part of the fun. Live as much tact as a worm. No tact and bad taste. I'm a real winner. It's a wonder no one throttles you in your sleep. Being a guy, of course, I would have been pleased if she turned out pretty with her face healed, but her life was guaranteed to be easier than now no matter what she looked like. That was what really mattered ultimately. I can only imagine how hard it was to have your life turned completely upside down at the age of 9. A large portion of us in the slums had our share of misfortune, but hardly any of them stacked up to what Morgana had to bear. She had no parents. When asked about her mother, she'd gotten cagey with me, so I assumed she'd been sold off. When asked about her father, though, she just pointed up at the sky, which I took to mean he was dead. Not what she was intending. And girl, no family, sent off all on her own to some strange land, somewhere along the line, ending up in the Lord's cruel grasp. Misfortune felt like an understatement, if anything. That said, it wasn't just out of pity that I gave Morgana so much of my attention. The other reason, though, well, she'd probably go running if I told her. Hell, I wanted to hit myself over the head. I'll still be your friend, even if you turn out to be the ugliest girl in the city. You should be grateful. How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet? Act like a decent guy around other people. Do my best to fit in. Why are you such a dolt around me? Just doing my best to fit in. So you're saying that this is my fault? Everyone could use a thorn or two. Makes it more exciting. You especially. Okay, that should be everything. Does it sting anywhere? Not particularly, no. Alright. Oh, also, finish up here and get back to Mario soon. Unless you'd rather I drag you there. Why? Seriously, it's her damned birthday, that's why. And? What do you think, dimwit? She wants to celebrate. Get back there soon, okay? I'm planning to drop by too. Okay? Okay. She gave a sheepish nod, which was honestly kind of cute, but of course I couldn't say that. So I shrugged my shoulders, feigning exasperation, and then turned to leave. Once I might have offered to accompany her back to the brothel. Of course, yeah. Not any question, I take it. Yes, yeah, I saw that one. I have now witnessed Moe Moe Tri-Beam. Oh, well. We sure getting old. We sure do be. Also, geez, I had that turned up a bit. There we go. Thank you, 7th. Holy crap. 97 month streak. Oh, yeah, we sure do be getting old. I mean, you know. The power of the Ololololos. Thank you, obviously, 7th, for another month, 97 months. Holy crap. I remember when the months hit 12, and I was like, oh, well, this is just an impossibility. This should never have happened. And now we're approaching 100. Hoo boy. Hoo boy. I can't say I didn't expect to be streaming this long, because that's not, I never really set out with a plan per se. But I still feel like I didn't expect to be streaming this long. But you know, hey, why not? Still here. That's true. We are getting further and further from 69, but we are getting closer and closer to 169, which is way too high. So high. That might be out of reach, but you know, the 69 is fading into the distance. That's true. I'm gonna guess we're never gonna hit 69 420 months, but you know, I hope so. I hope so. Maybe, you know, they crack immortality by the time I'm super old. I feel like in this day and age, stranger things have happened, but I feel like that might not be ideal either. Streaming for 10% of your life? Probably streaming for more than that. Because if I'm getting close to 40, and if I've been streaming for over 10 years, I've been streaming closer to a quarter of my life. Oh, over that. Right? It is way higher than 10%. Way higher than 10%. I'm not going to go and do the math to figure out the exact percentage, but we crossed 10% a long time ago. Long time. So yeah, you know, all because I was on a whim one day. I was like, It wasn't even it. I literally set up my Twitch account so that I could try to show Sandwich games I was playing at any given time, and I've never once actually done that. I've never used the ability to stream to show Sandwich a game I was playing. Literally never. And then kind of from there went, well, you can stream. You know. Once I might have offered to accompany her back to the brothel, but Morgana never seemed keen on the idea of walking anywhere with me. Maybe she was afraid of grown men after what had happened to her at the Lord's Manor. Maybe she just didn't want me to be seen with someone who looked like her. So, hey, thought you were leaving. One day, I'll show you the world. Get my hopes up. Get your hopes up, damn it! I said with a soft chuckle, and I took my leave. I had every intention of making good on that promise, and I had more than enough reason to believe I could. 3 years back, there was a slave revolt at the Lord's Manor. That's not quite accurate, though, because while I was partially responsible for inciting the riot, I wasn't actually a slave. The local lord was spoken of, in whispers, as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. You probably don't want to be known as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. Yeah, correct, yes. Absolutely didn't. Never expected when I started this that, like, I don't know, Square Enix. I never expected Square Enix would be like, hey, here's a game for you to stream. Or, you know, one of the greatest indie games of modern times would do the same thing. Or hell, I got a copy of, what was it? Which was the... It was the Fatal Frame, the more recent one. Not the remake of the Wii U one, but the remake of the Wii one. They just gave me that too. Like Fatal Frame, which was huge for me. And they were just like, yeah, sure, here you go. Never would have expected any of those. Technically, I've gotten a Monster Hunter too. But that was a weird one because they sent me the code right after I purchased it myself, which was fun, you know. Oh yeah, like all the Fatal Frame games are good. I still think it peaked with 2. But they're still going and they're trying new things, and I still like them. Even if I don't think they've hit the highs of 2, that doesn't mean I think they're bad. 2 is just an almost impossible peak to hit. And also, I was younger and more easily scared back then. So, like, I don't know if it's possible to hit that for me personally, because I'm older and less easily scared. Not impossible, obviously. Not nearly as jumpy as I was in high school when I played it. It was high school, yeah, jeez. When people were constantly grumbling about how he seemed to treat the land like his own personal playground, exploiting everything and everyone on it for his own amusement. That's true. And again, like, it's not that the newer... Well, I mean, the only problem is the newer Fatal Frames are still Wii and Wii U. They've been ported forwards, but they were made for the Wii and the Wii U. That's the most recent we have. I still like them. They were good to play through, and I would play through them again. I had an enjoyable time. I like the photo mode a lot. I really don't have anything bad to say about them. I would like them to make a new Fatal Frame. That would be nice. Remaking those was great, having them playable on systems that aren't just the Wii and the forgotten brick that everyone doesn't own is great. Adding trophies to them is also great. But a new Fatal Frame, please? Maybe if Silent Hill does really well, the new Silent Hill game, and we all know horror in general seems to be having a resurgence, maybe they'll be like, we could make another one. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe enough of the key people left and, like, are doing other things that, like, maybe they won't do another one. And that's okay too. When enough stress and resentment builds up in a concentrated space, all it takes is a little shove from the outside to burst. And that was our plan. Me and a number of other dissatisfied citizens gathered together to pop that bubble and give the Lord a taste of how we felt about him. With the help of a slave trader, I infiltrated the Lord's Manor. I had known slaves weren't treated well, but seeing it for myself, I thought most of those people would have been happier having been born as a dog or cat and owned by someone who actually had a heart. Yeah, this just in. When you own a human being, you probably don't treat them very well. If you're the type of person who would buy a human life, you're probably not treating them very well. Probably not. Just probably not. Right one? I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I would hate that or I wouldn't play it, but I almost feel like that's too much for Fatal Frame. Again, not to say I would not play that game, because I would play that game. But I feel like that might almost be too much. But hey, they make it, I'll play it. At this rate, if they put out any Fatal Frame, I've never been burnt by a Fatal Frame. I've had some that were like a little better, a little worse, like any series, but I've never bought a Fatal Frame and been like, wow, that was a waste of my money. What am I doing? Ever. So, like, if that series keeps going, I'll at least go until they, you know, make the Fatal Frame equivalent to Silent Hill Homecoming. Then I'd probably be like, nope, that's enough. It was revolting, a flagrant injustice. Broadly speaking, there are two types of people who see injustice in the world. The first are those who have everything, who sit unchallenged at the top of the world, looking down on the less fortunate with pity. The second are those with nothing, who wish to overthrow the entire system keeping them down. It should come as to no surprise that I fell in the second camp. Once I was inside, I went around the manor telling all the slaves about our plan. Most of them had long since lost the will to fight, but with enough assurance there were people on the outside ready and waiting to help, glimmers of hope started to return to their eyes. Finding out they weren't alone, that they weren't helpless anymore, had an incredible effect on the morale. And once the slaves were convinced, the revolt began. It ended up being much larger in scale than I had imagined, and many lost their lives in the process, but the majority of them managed to escape. Naturally, the slaves couldn't stay in the city, so I directed them to people waiting outside who would take them to another city or neighboring county. I had neither the money nor the power to guarantee them a good life on the outside, but that hardly mattered to them. Everyone was sure that wherever they ended up would be better than staying, and I prayed that would be the case. It was during the revolt that I saved Morgana. I would have sent her off somewhere else like all the other slaves, but she was in so dire a condition when I found her that she could hardly even move on her own. She had been sapped of all of her willpower. That beat me to it. Alright. So, I brought her to the brothel where a friend of mine worked and asked her to take Morgana in. My companions and I reveled in the revolt's success. It wasn't enough of an accomplishment to have any real political implications, but we still felt like heroes. Drunk on victory, we started talking about going bigger, starting a full-on revolution. Once the elation passed, though, we realized there wasn't much more we could do. Even if we did manage to start a large enough uprising to kill the Lord, we were only peasants. Not only did we not know the first thing about ruling, the other counts would never acknowledge our authority anyway. We'd pretend to be in control until the next in line showed up, and that would be the end of that. So we just ended up sitting on our thumbs, no way to do anything about our discontent. Skip forward to about a month before Morgana's birthday. One day, a middle-aged woman approached me. I had never met her before, but she had wavy hair that reminded me a great deal of my own. Looking me straight in the eye, the woman said, "I was once a maidservant for the Barnier estate. They've done their best to keep it a secret, but I had a child with the previous lord. That child is you." The revelation came completely out of the blue. According to her, I had royal blood, and if we could convince the lord of that, I would become royalty. Furthermore, she, as my alleged mother, could return to her old life at the manor. The woman urged me to take action, meet the lord, reveal my lineage, and reclaim my rightful place at the Barnier house. I would no longer be a poor peasant living in the slums. I would have a comfortable life. I obviously wasn't going to agree on the spot. Her story was so blatantly dubious, I needed some time to think on it. If she was telling the truth, though, it could transform our revolution from a dream into a reality. We wouldn't be restricted to inciting inconsequential uprisings. I could seize power legitimately and make some actual change. So, I asked the woman to give me some time to consider. She decided what you're going to give her. It was the very first thing I heard when I stepped through the back doors of the brothel. Maria, a short blonde-haired prostitute and good friend of mine, flashed me a devilish smirk. Bought a necklace. It's per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they? Most do. Me, I got a taste for knives and other such pointy things. Yeah, me know. To be fair, same. I do really like this knife a lot. It is less practical than my older one, because I don't really want to carry something this big around. So it's not really a pocket knife, but it's a great around home crack open Amazon boxes knife. You know. Doubt she has much interest in those, though. Sometimes, I wonder if you're actually a girl. Anyone could see that Maria and I were close, but our relationship was strictly platonic. Of course, given her line of work, it was unavoidable that people thought otherwise. And honestly, it irritated me every time someone suggested we were anything more than friends. People have this annoying, short-sighted tendency to assume that just because a guy and a girl are friendly, they must be intimate. It didn't matter that she was a girl. I only thought of her as a friend. As best as I could tell, that's all she thought of me as well. Maria and I first met when we were children. Even at that age, she was already a prostitute. Myself, a petty thief. We were both incredibly lucky to have survived to adulthood with only ourselves to watch each other's backs. It's possible the only reason either of us maintained the willpower to survive this long is because we had each other to bitch about life to when things got bad. So, is today the day? Are you finally going to tell her how you feel? Excuse me? Tell her how I white? Don't be coy. You know exactly what, and it's about time you manned up and told her. I think you got a better chance than you think. I need to remind you how old she is. 12, as of today. Practically an adult. This is different times. This is different times. This was a long time ago. This was in the time where it was really not uncommon to be legitimately married by like 12. So, I ain't saying it's right. I am saying this is a far removed time. I was knee deep in dick at that age. Could not have predicted that would be the next line. Could not at all have predicted that was going to be the next line, but also, yeah, I bet she was. Good. Hydration. Comparing her to you? The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg. Party's going to be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere. Alright. I chewed over what Maria had said as I watched her disappear down a brothel corridor. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't overanalyzing. I did indeed have special feelings for Morgana. Women seem to have this strange, somewhat terrifying ability to read people's minds. And Maria was a prime example of that. I had never once so much as suggested to anyone I might think anything of Morgana, but Maria had somehow managed to pick up on it almost immediately. Fortunately, she didn't seem particularly bothered by the fact. Though, if anyone else were to find out, I could only imagine the looks I would get. I mean, Morgana was 12. I was 22. Different time. Different time. Different time. To be fair, she's been through like 48 years of experience of the world. All of it negative, but still. For today, absolutely, but I can't imagine it was entirely... I mean, it clearly was uncommon enough for him to be like, people would think that's a bit strange. But not enough for him to be like, damn, that illegal. You know. That wasn't normal. Never felt this way about anyone else that young either. Any other girl Morgana's age just looked like another kid to me, so why was she any different? She was covered in scars, and every other time we met, she would tell me to go to hell, and she refused to walk anywhere with me, and no matter how much ice I broke, I could never seem to get all the way through. Yet still, the world felt like it was just a little bit better a place when I was with her. It made me want to see her smile, no matter how grotesque her face. I didn't even go about saying it, assuming I actually did. Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. Yep. God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. I was getting stressed out. It was all thanks to Maria. This was supposed to be a day of celebration, not of fretting over stupid personal matters. Not long after I arrived at the brothel and made my way to the back room, Maria and a handful of other unoccupied girls showed up. Morgana, who was supposed to be the guest of honor, was even more reticent than usual. Prostitutes chatted amongst themselves about work in unabashedly graphic detail, trading info on which customers were good and which customers were bad. All the while, Morgana looked incredibly uncomfortable. Guys, think you could maybe change the subject? Think we have anything else to talk about? Making the birthday girl want to hide in a corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think? Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about, Morgana said, almost in a whisper, her head downturned. Excuse me. At least eat something then. The cookies are barely sweetened and dry as rocks, but they're edible. Jacopo, you little bitch! You got some stones to shit talk my cookies to my face. That might be one of my favorite lines of this entire visual novel. Jacopo, you little bitch! Good. Stop it, Maria. Stop throwing things at me. The other girls cackled as Maria and I bickered. Hoping it might have elicited a reaction from Morgana as well, I snuck a glance over at her, but she remained expressionless. You are right about one thing, though. This is Morgana's day, so let's change the subject, Maria said with a little laugh, having hurled everything within arm's reach at me. Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about. Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. I'm not saying you have to reminisce for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you got your eyes on? Spewed my tea all over the table. Look, you're going to expect someone like her to be subtle, because it's not going to happen. There is. And I started choking. What? Seriously? Holy shit! Who is it? Tell me, who's the lucky guy? God. Everyone fell silent. Maria gave me a sympathetic look, and I knew exactly what she wanted to say. Sorry, kid, you ain't got nothing on God. Asshole. If you're gonna dream, dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from, pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you. Bald-faced liar. The grass may be a hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here. Did she just imply I'm a weed? Maria looked over and gave a wide grin at the sight of me grinding my teeth, then continued. Say the young man over there. Wait, stop right there. Don't say another word. Whoopsie, me and my big mouth. I almost did your job for you. God damn it, Maria. This is not good. Like hell I was going to let her corner me into saying it here. Stole a glance at Morgana, but her gaze was locked on her knees. I couldn't see what, if any, kind of reaction she was having. Morgana, what she was trying to say is that I have to go. What? I have to go to the bathroom. Sure. Morgana got up from her chair and left the room in silence. I imagine I was making a rather flaccid expression because as soon as Morgana was gone, Maria began cackling like a madwoman. My reply was the nearest object, courtesy of my throwing arm. Loser! How hard is it to just say it? Would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that. I think I believe you would have done it without a little nudge. I would have. Eventually. Eventually you're gonna cut it. Now's the right time. Don't worry, me and the girls won't make fun of you for getting your rocks off to little girls. It's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would wait at least 4 years before. Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it'll do her wonders, really. She's, well, you know. So I think knowing someone cares about her will lighten the load a bit. When she comes back, give her the necklace. Tell her how you feel. And if she turns it down, we can all have a good laugh about it. Maria and a few other girls chuckled. As uncomfortable as she was making me feel, she had a point. Regardless of whether Morgana reciprocated my feelings or not, there was a good chance that just putting them out there would help in breaking down the wall she had built in her heart. And maybe one day, I would actually be able to see her smile. I'll do it. I'll tell her. It didn't matter if I came out looking like a loser. It didn't matter if Morgana wasn't interested in me that way. What mattered was that she knew someone accepted her regardless of her appearance or the things she had been through. And if by some chance there really was royal blood flowing through my veins, then I can make good on my promise to show her the world. I could put an end to her life of poverty and abuse, replace it with one of comfort and wealth. I could buy her even better medicine, something that could actually heal her face. If I truly were royalty, I could do so much more for her. Makes it sound like I want to be some kind of fairy tale hero or something. But honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. If I was going to make her happy, to wipe away all her past misfortune, why couldn't I make it a little dramatic? It wasn't usually my style, but in this case, I wouldn't have objected to a storybook ending. What the fuck happened to him? What happened? This, though. No, this wasn't the kind of story I was hoping for. I mean, we're gonna find out, but like, what the hell? The heavy curtains separating the guest rooms had been torn to shreds, and they were splattered with blood. Okay, well, we know this happened, but like, Morgana made it through that too. Didn't turn her into what he turned into. Man, apparently caught without enough time to defend himself, lay splayed out naked on a bed, his empty eyes fixed on the ceiling. The whole area reeked of blood. All I could do was stare stupefied at the carnage. The hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered, though. The few who were still alive could no better make sense of the incomprehensible massacre than me. The sudden, arbitrary upheaval of our world. The inexplicable, inescapable reality. Shortly after Morgana stepped out, I heard a woman scream from the front of the brothel. Next, a man shouting. First, I assumed it was one of the customers losing his temper over something, but the tone of the scream seemed somehow off for something like that. It wasn't long before the noise had escalated to alarming levels, so I dashed toward the source of the shouting. A good dozen men, bandits or maybe thieves, they seemed more organized, had raided the brothel. They slaughtered all the customers, stripping them of any valuables. And they tied up the girls, killing any who resisted. The first thought that rose to my panicked mind was that I needed to find Morgana. I needed to get her out of here, no matter what. I couldn't let her birthday turn into a tragedy. She'd already been through enough, and I had to make sure she didn't suffer any further. I had to make her life into something good. I searched and I searched, but there was no sign of Morgana anywhere. Till suddenly, something seemed to crash into me from behind, causing me to stagger. It took a few seconds for the pain to set in, which is when I looked down to see the tip of a blade sticking out of my gut. Blood streamed along the metal surface, and there were little bits of flesh caught on the edges. I turned around just in time to see the man holding it kick me away. Before I had time to process what was happening, I hit the floor and lost consciousness. If I were a hero, I could have surely eradicated all the violent intruders in the blink of an eye, saving everyone. I protected that which I wanted to protect. Not had to lose anything. But I was a mere boy. A weak boy, helpless against a few robbers. A useless boy, unable to protect anyone. When I woke up, Maria was kneeling over me, sobbing. No sign of the tough, foul-mouthed girl I knew. Aside from her, there were two other girls also crying, leaving only 4 survivors. Apparently, I wasn't dead. Looking down, I saw my bare stomach wrapped in blood-soaked bandages. The brothel lay in ruins, a bloody pile of torn bedding, clothes, and bodies. I made my way back to the front. All I could do was stare, stupefied at the carnage. The hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered, though. Maria stood beside me, quietly rubbing her trembling arms. Where's Morgana? Couldn't find her. Why not? Sorry, I looked everywhere, and I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry. I wanted to say I wasn't blaming her, but I couldn't find the words. If I'd had power, I could have prevented this from happening. What kind of power would I have needed, though? Physical strength to overpower the thieves? No, I needed to think bigger. If I weren't a peasant, but someone of real influence and import, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thieves would ever even consider a raid on me. Really? No petty thieves have ever once raided a lord's manor? Ever? Like ever? Like ever? Never? In the history of like ever? Huh. Sure, okay. Sounds legit. And I would have the power to punish anyone who tried. Regardless, this would never have happened at all. I was supposed to give Morgana a good life, to show her the world, to make her smile. If only I had power. Absolute, unflinching power. If I had climbed to the top of the ladder when the chance was offered to me, this all could have been avoided. If only I had asserted my place as royalty a month earlier, as the woman who claimed to be my mother had urged me to. I wanted power. The power to keep everything I cared about safe. Excuse me. The power to change this damned world. The power to stop those filthy thieves. The power to keep her by my side. See, even here, like, he clearly wants power, but it's still to protect her. So how the hell do you go from this to, hey, I'm the Lord, I have all the power, I'm going to keep you locked up, barely feed you, bleed you dry. Like, again, clearly we're going to find out, but, like, even here, clearly it's not the grab for power that changes him. Well, not the acknowledgement of wanting power, at the very least. Heard about the attack on the brothel, that you were hurt. So glad to see you're well. About a week after the raid, I went to see the woman who'd professed herself my mother. As you'd expect of someone who had served at the old lord's manor, she was very elegant and graceful. The shack where she stayed, though, was a shabby, drab place with bare wattle and dab walls. They were concerned about my safety. Of course, show me a mother who's not always concerned about her child's safety. Since a woman I'd never seen until a month ago. Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love, she said with a soft smile. Age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, but I could see hints of former beauty. If you had gone to speak with the Lord and revealed your lineage when I first came to see you, you would never have been in that kind of danger. There's still time. Go to the Lord's manor. Show him. I'm not really your son, am I? The woman fell silent for a moment, observing me. I could see the resemblance between us, yes, and I had no memories of my mother. It'd be nice if she were to show back up someday. It just wasn't likely. This whole thing felt extremely contrived. Discussions will progress much smoother if we both know what the other wants out of this arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Are you actually a maidservant for the previous lord? She gave a nod, then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. Look at this. It's the Barnier family crest. The previous lord gave me the ring as a gift, and I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it because I knew I was with child. They will have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring. Why did you wait so long to come find me then? I was afraid they might kill you if I brought you in as a baby. Why were we separated? Misfortune. One day, bandits came and kidnapped you. Bandits, I guess, to be fair, way long ago, bandits were a much more real threat. Fairly constant, you know. Presumably they were hired by the Barnier Estates because they didn't want your existence coming to light. Also, it seems like the Barnier Estate just, that's their go-to. Hire bandits. True, it's not like he had, like, organized, like, crime stopping. If anything, it sounds like the bandits were organized by the estate, so. Consider it a miracle you're still alive. I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listened to the woman speak. Part of me did indeed want to take everything she said as true. I wanted to believe I was someone important. But I couldn't convince myself I had anything other than a commoner's blood running through my veins. It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family, so to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord has either passed away or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at the Barnier Manor. It's probably true that you had a relationship with had relations with the former Lord. You were chased out, and now you live in poverty. Trying to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance on the current Lord. But being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself. So you came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child were still alive, he would be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly claim we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself. Because I was one of the people involved in inciting the revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. How dramatic. The man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So, how far off am I? Sometime the woman sat in silence. Eventually she broke it, not by yelling in anger or desperately trying to refute me, but with a smile. I knew very well what lurked behind that smile, too. Scorn. Sharp for a filthy peasant. It would seem I chose wisely. I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shyster. But that I could work with. That fits so much better. Second nose. Better. Enough. I wasn't royalty. Wasn't a hero. I was a filthy peasant. I'm in. First thing I did after agreeing to work with the woman was not to approach the Lord, but to reveal my false lineage to my accomplices. They all thought I was joking, until I showed them the ring. Then their dreams of revolution started seeming far more realistic. Maria was the one exception. Not only did she not believe me, she tried to stop me from going through with the scheme. Haven't you had enough danger for one life? Come on, forget about all this revolution stuff. We can build up a new brothel and just stay low for the rest of our days. Does that really sound so bad? You're the only friend I got left, Jacopo, she said, somewhat desperately. I sympathized with their concerns, but I didn't want to let this chance to gain some real power slip away. I was done having things taken away from me. Oh, man. So, when we were in the city yesterday, went to the usual places. Obviously starting with Kinokuniya, because it's great. And they always have a ton of onigiri there, depending on when you go, because they make their batches and sometimes they just sell out. But they had a ton this time. And I always go with just, fried chicken. Simple, easy, tasty. Pecco got spicy fried chicken. But Afro nabbed one I hadn't spotted before. And next time I go back, I'm going to have to try this. It was green onion and miso. And that sounds delicious. And I did not see it that time because I wasn't really looking. I was just like, fish, 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 chicken, cool, let's go. But that sounds so good. And he said it was delicious. So the next time I'm going, I'm trying that. So my body is ready. Those onigiri are always good. But like, I always kind of save them for like the return trip. Like, I never really eat one then. It's always kind of like, yeah, this is our first stop, but this is going to be for later. And we got to go to Dollar Slice Pizza, which is up to $1.50. But even then, considering the size of the slices they give you, $1.50 in this day and age is still a steal. An absolute steal. I think you can get 2 slices and a canned soda for $5.50. And like, it's hard to get a fast food burger for $5.50, let alone a plate filling 2 slices and a canned soda. Glorious. It's a shame the prices have gone up, but they're still very, very reasonable. Cruffins? What are those? Croissant muffins? I feel like there's the bagel place close to me does churro muffins. I haven't tried one of them because I always go in for the bagels because the bagels are really, really good. But I should grab one of those muffins because I like churros. I like muffins. I would probably really like that. Hear me, my fellow citizens, who live in suffering at the hands of your supposed lord. Within me flows the blood of the previous lord. I am the rightful heir. Behold, the Barney's golden ring, proof that I am of noble birth. But I was able to steal a ring. I mean, he didn't, but I still wouldn't say it's hard proof of birth. But at the same time, that's the best proof they were going to have in that day. Victims of this terrible tyrant, the time has come to start anew, and I shall be the one to lead you down that path. The poor, the hungry, the depraved, all of you stand with me. Yeah, it's not like they had printed like birth certificates or anything. The ring was more proof than most people would ever have. Yeah, quick, we need a DNA test. Show me your birth certificate. Show me the hospital records. Like, yeah, okay. This is, I mean, we don't know the exact timing of this one, but like, it's before 1100, right? Because the Mikhail chapter was like 1100. And we know that this is a good amount before that. So this is old times. My cold arms stoked the flames of the people's hearts. When the assault on the Lord's manor began, they were an inferno of righteous justice, known as Sinking Strait. It's about the only one with something resembling a clear head amidst the chaos. If I were really a hero, then I would have rejoiced in that glorious day, that momentous turning point in the city's history. I would have been honored to have led the charge. This was all about one woman's avarice and desire for vengeance. This was all about one man's lamentation of his own weakness. I wasn't motivated by any desire to help these people. The Lord, backed into a corner, begged for his life. I decapitated him, then held his severed head up for the people. The cheers and shouts filled the air. As I watched them rejoice, I wondered, was this the future that awaited me? Would the people come after me next? Was my head going to be in one of their hands one day? I mean, only if you turn really super evil and start doing things like torturing young girls and bleeding them dry for their medicinal blood and then selling it to people without telling people that it's even what it is, you know. It's fine. I'm sure you won't go down that path. So I'm sure you'll be fine. King and the other, I mean, and we know that at least as of the path he was on before, he does not meet his end with his head cut off by revolting peasants. That's something. Sure dies pretty soon, but it's not because of a revolt. The king and the other counts acknowledged my royalty, though it was less because I had the Barney's ring and more because they thought that was the best way to prevent things from getting any messier. Probably, honestly. So with their approval, I formally became the lord of the land. I also assumed the former lord's a name, because despite his reputation with his people, it was a name people knew and one that held far more clout than my own. And just like that, my long-time dream of power had come true. Cool. All of that sounds delicious. That said, simply becoming the lord didn't mean everything had fallen neatly into place. Many of the local noble families accused me of acquiring my ranks illegitimately. They waited, fangs bared, for me to slip up. They even tried to set me up on more than one occasion. I couldn't trust anyone. On top of that, if I took too long making the improvements I'd promised the people, they would start saying I was just as much of a tyrant as the previous lord. There was only so much I could do at once, though, especially with my hands so full fending off the vulturous nobles. Exhaustion soon began to set in. This wasn't the world I was looking for. The one I wanted to show Morgana. 900. Okay. Yeah. The lifespans were a tad shorter. We'll go with a little, you know. Just a smidge. Barely noticeable, I'm sure. Yeah, you gotta make it through a lot of stuff. It was day after draining day of betrayal, constantly having to look over my shoulder, fighting to meet unrealistic expectations. I'm starting to lose sight of who I was as a person. I couldn't let anyone see me looking weak. They would see it as an opportunity to take advantage of me, to manipulate me, to eliminate me. I needed power to protect myself from those people. Gaining rank was only the first step. I needed even more power, enough to ensure no one would ever be giving me orders, could ever play me for a fool. There is no amount of power you can ever obtain that will stop people from trying to screw you over, take your stuff, and play you as a fool. There is none. At all. Turned my attention first to bolstering the economy. I provided subsidies to merchants in the city. I expanded trade routes. I made it known that people of any skin color, even those not welcome in other territories, were welcome in my land, trying to bring some vitality to the city. The previous lord had evidently loved to throw parties, squandering away nearly all the tax money on his own entertainment. If he had left me more to work with, I would have used it to clean up and repair the slums, but for the time being, that had to remain another item on the checklist. I needed more money flowing through the city as a whole before I could make any headway in fixing up the poorer areas. Helping the people who needed it most quickly became a secondary objective. I had a pretty good idea what my former accomplices still in the slums were saying about me. They used us! I could practically hear them whispering. Some of them even started publicly slandering me in an attempt to undermine my authority, claiming I wasn't suited to be in a position of power because I had spent most of my life in the slums. It wasn't long before they had convinced the people I was just another tyrant. I had hoped that they, if no one else, would have sympathized with my position. Realized that I had every intention of helping them, but I simply didn't have the resources for it yet. But no one saw what I was doing. No one believed me, even when I tried to explain. In one case, I invited an old companion to my manor to discuss matters. but the meeting only turned into an attempt on my life. Having absolutely no one I could trust, no one I could call an ally, hit me a lot harder than I expected. Twisted my worldview beyond recognition. That would do it, I guess. I had no intention for sympathy. I had no need for sympathy. I couldn't show care for anyone. Otherwise, someone would inevitably use it against me. Old friends and strangers alike. In fact, those who knew me best, those who were aware of where I'd come from and what I had been before, were the ones who fought the hardest to tear me down. Rules needed to be created. Punishments established. I couldn't allow anyone to take this power from me. Anyone who so much as suggested I'd come from the slums. Anyone who dared disrespect me had to be eliminated. All threats exterminated before they could reach me. Somewhere along the line, I had lost sight of my original dream. Yeah. Lost all my desire to do right by the people I cared about. Hell, I didn't have anyone to do right by anymore. Why did I need to climb to the top of the ladder? So no one could kill me. Why did I want my money? So no one could mock me. Why did I want power? So no one could oppose me. 4 years passed, and I found myself in a very, very distant place. Miracle blood? Sounds like a sham to me. You never know. Say the sound of her first cry brought rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. They say her blood has the power to cure any disease. One day, a curious rumor came to my attention, the kind of whispering I wouldn't usually put much stock into. It was said that there was a witch living in a cottage by the lake. Few had ever seen her face, but they claimed she had the same voice as a girl who had supposedly performed miracles several years earlier in a faraway village. People loved their stories of heroes and miracles. And if I could show some support for the churches, then maybe people would stop complaining I was focusing too much on the economy. So I devised a plot to capture the witch and make use of her miracle blood. I would establish a new church, have it be run by a nun the city had fawned over for some time. They called her the Saintess. There I would take the witch's blood and call it a miracle medicine, distributing it in exchange for tithes, which the people would certainly come for in droves. And if the blood somehow did happen to have special powers, then that would make the scheme that much more effective. I'll worry about the veracity of the rumors later. Right now all I want is for you to capture her and bring her to me. I was too busy to handle capturing the witch myself, so I went and found someone to handle it for me. He was a former slave who had several years back massacred an entire carriage of slaves and the slave traders transporting them. Obviously, not an upstanding citizen, but there was little doubt he would have any trouble apprehending a single witch. I mean, everyone we've encountered who has crossed paths with her has commented on how powerful her voice is. Everyone. Including somebody who mentions that it brought him back from the brink of a passionate murder rampage. That ain't weak. So, you know, I feel like that's the type of thing you'd remember. Especially in a time of, like, tales and magic and heroes and whatnot. And witches, for that matter. I feel like that's definitely something you remember in a story that gets passed around. Fair. Clearly not hers. Also, she's not really allowed to get much older. Biggest reason I chose him, though, is because he was enamored with the nun. I honestly thought it was rather hilarious. A murderer falling in love with a nun? I had been expecting the man to object, but he agreed almost without hesitation. It was a mansion on the outskirts of a city, which the previous lord had built for himself, and had gone unused since his death. Oh, okay. The previous lord had built the mansion. So I assume he still means the previous lord, not the one he decapitated. Because the one he decapitated was the one who would leave the journal that was like, I got the lesser of the mansions. So presumably his forebearer built the mansion. Okay. So we have finally some origin. Yeah, the journal entry could not have been Jacopo. It had to have been the lord whose name he stole, who also could not have been the one to have built it, otherwise they couldn't have inherited it. So I guess there we go. Was the guy before Jacopo the Second coming? Oh yes, sorry. Yes, sorry. But the person who built it may or may not have been. We don't really know much about them other than definitely spent had relations with a servant. That is the extent of what we know about them. Had relations with a servant. The servant got kicked out, but still got a ring in the process. And apparently built a mansion. If we know anything besides those two, I don't remember it. So, well, no, it was specifically the second coming of the tyrant of old. So, like, I don't know if you would use the suffix of old to reference their father. That feels like it's definitely more of a, like, generational thing. That was what I was getting from it, at least. That said, again, lifespans were short, time was short. Maybe the father was the great tyrant of old. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying that's not the vibes I'm getting from it. Definitely not impossible, we don't know. It was there I decided to keep the witch, and it was there that I decided to establish a church. The nun would have ample space there to provide temporary shelter to the sick and needy. Thought, with what little remained of my conscience, that I was doing the right thing. If one witch, probably an old woman at that, was all it cost to accomplish such good, then a worthy sacrifice it was. I'm doing good. I've chosen to sacrifice a person for the better of everyone else. Did I ask everyone else if they wanted to make that sacrifice? Did I ask the one woman if they wanted to be sacrificed? No, but I'm making the hard decisions that need to be made that no one else will. And I'm sure everyone except for that one woman that we're definitely going to sacrifice will have no complaints about it, especially if they don't know about it. In an ideal world, it wouldn't matter young or old. A human being was an unacceptable price for anything. Damn. So he does realize that this is wrong. Clearly doesn't care. Clearly powers through with the reasoning, but to some level goes, yeah, no, this ain't right. Gonna do it, but it ain't right. This was far from an ideal world. Oh yeah, it's the world's fault. It's not yours for making the choice to capture and sacrifice a witch. It's the world's fault. It's the world. The whole world. All the world. So I decided that taking what little remained of this woman's life was the best. No, the only acceptable course of action. She would probably despise me for it, but I would gladly accept her hatred in exchange for the benefits her blood would bring the city. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. Morgana's words from years back popped into my head. I believed that, as aggressive, self-centered, and utterly lacking compassion as my methods may have been, I was following that mantra. I mean, of course he'd believe it. You have to. The human mind is able to justify many things. The human brain's ability to avoid cognitive dissonance is powerful. I was offering a helping hand to people who needed it in the only way I knew how, by selling them things and taking more money from them, while also killing a child. Slowly and painfully. It wasn't so dense as to think she would approve of me making an old woman pay the price for my charity, though. Doing this made me no better than a thug. But everything has a price. For every extravagant feast held, a dozen people go the night without food. That's simply the way of the world. I was no god. I was no saint. I had blood on my hands. I was a villain. I knew no way to accomplish good without doing bad. After the swordsman departed, I took some time to myself. I filled a goblet with water, smelled it, then gave a bit of it to my pet dog before gulping down the rest of it. You still out there somewhere, Morgana? What would you think of me if you saw what I had become? I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. Several days later than originally planned, the swordsman finally arrived at the mansion. I had chosen the observation tower in the grounds for the witch's prison, and it was there I waited for him. He showed up with a burlap sack swung over his shoulder, setting it down on the ground and saying, "There's your witch." I could only hear muffled grunting from inside the sack, but it didn't sound like an old woman inside. The man's clothes and the bag both reeked of blood. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost. Cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. That you were able to immediately recognize it as the smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Enough yapping. She is alive, yes? course. I felt a tinge of guilt for the woman, but it didn't last long. Her role in my scheme and the fate that awaited her was the same regardless of the condition she arrived in. I tossed my gaze from the man to the bag. He crouched down to untie it, revealing a young girl with one arm severed. As soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who the girl was. But why? What was she doing in the bag? Why was she the lakeside witch? What was she doing here? Why was she so pale and shaking? Blood loss. Also, trauma. Why had I ordered her captured? How could I have done that? How could I have let this happen to her? Morgana. My voice was hoarse and rattling. She looked up at me, her face just as disfigured and hideous as it had been 4 years before. My mind flashed back to her birthday, the one I had considered offering to take her as my lifetime partner if her face hadn't healed in 4 years' time. Is that you? The question yanked me out of my memories. You remember me? Did Morgana remember me? The 3 years we had spent together. What kind of person I had been. The boy who had refused to give up putting ointment on her face. Those horribly unromantic encounters at the graveyard. Her taking shots at me taking shots at her. All that time we had shared. How could I ever forget? Morgana, she remembered me. How could I ever forget all the pain and humiliation you put me through? How could I ever forget the blood sabbats you so loved to hold? What? What was she talking about? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you. Ooh. Yeah, no, she definitely... I mean, clearly had some passing resemblance to the previous lord. At least half. And, yeah, I guess he looks enough like him, and time has passed. And also, I don't know if she's thinking straight. Blood loss. Yeah, any combination of all of those. You haven't had your fill of my blood. No, that wasn't me. I was the one who tried to heal those wounds. You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch, and then tried to kill me. I haven't forgotten you even for a moment. No, Morgana. I was the man who rescued you from him. Also the man who sent a murderer out to cut off your arm and bring you back in a burlap sack to hold you forever and take your blood. And, you know, maybe there's actually not so many differences. I feel like he's already too far gone, but I feel like the real linchpin to this is the arm. Because if she just showed up captured, there'd have to be a hell of an apology, but he could feasibly, possibly be like, holy crap, I didn't know, let's work together, let's try to make stuff better. But you can't be like, oh man, ooh, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. That arm, yeah. Arguably, her not recognizing him might be the better thing. Especially because no part of this is, I don't know, man. This is not humanizing him to the level that perhaps anyone in canon might have hoped. It's really not. It is to be fair, it is a human thing of, you know, people change, dreams change, situations change. He got thrust into a position of having some of the power he wanted, but finding out that the thing he wanted couldn't actually help anyone, and the people who cared about him and he cared about turned on him because he opted not to help them immediately, which from his point of view was not his fault, and actively tried to murder him. Like, if I had thought I only had 1 or 2 friends in the world, and I was like, hey, you want to come over and hang? It's been a long time, I'm sorry, stuff's been difficult, and they tried to kill me, I might have a slight change of opinion too. Probably not that drastic, and I wouldn't have the power to follow through with it, even if it was, but, you know. don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fiber of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. No, Morgana. I was not aware you knew the witch, Lord. I was not aware you knew the witch, Lord. Its voice made my blood run cold. I didn't just know her. Morgana was... this man, this lord. He destroyed me, mind and body. No, it was another man. He was already dead. I'd just taken his place. I'd come from the slums. I'd been part of the slaves' revolt. I knew I had to tell her. He ruined my life. But between the sting of Morgana's accusations and my need to protect my current position, I couldn't muster the strength to do it. If someone were to find out I wasn't legitimate royalty, that I'd come from the slums, everything I had worked so hard to build up. Build up for who, then? Would come crumbling down. Really think it hasn't already? All I had left was my power, my rank. Is that what I actually wanted? I couldn't afford to lose that too. When did I first start straying from the path? Yes, I know her. Or I knew her years ago. Let's see. What do you want to do then, Lord? You look sick. This doesn't change anything. We lock the witch up and proceed as planned. Well, you have to remember, from his point of view, everyone is going to betray him. No matter how close he thinks they are, everyone is going to betray him from his point of view. So, even if he somehow thought Bestia wouldn't betray him, which, let's be honest, he does not. Because at this point, all he really knows about Bestia is loves that nun and is a good murderer. That is all he knows. And even if he thought he could trust Morgana, we just covered the whole fact of, like, everyone he thought he could trust before has not been on his side lately, so... I mean, look, you're not wrong from an outside perspective, Ark, but we're not talking about an outside perspective. We're talking about Jacopo, who has been betrayed by everyone he has ever known and is so desperate to hold on to the little power he has that he sees enemies everywhere and believes not only is everyone trying to betray him, but the closer someone is to him, the more likely they are to betray him. That's a hard thing to shake. Because you try to get closer to the person and convince them not, and they're just going to think you're betraying. You know, it's hard. Why? Why couldn't I tell her the truth? How? How could I keep her imprisoned? You're right. But that doesn't mean he trusts him. I have power over a person and I have control over them is not the same as, what if I loosen my grip? Will they still be on my side? I do not think he sees Bestia as somebody he can trust. Use, definitely. But trust? We're talking trust with a secret that could ruin his own power. We're not talking trust like, oh, I trust you to go do that errand for me. We're talking trust with a basic fact that could make him powerless and have to return to the life in the slums that he had. Thus, nullifying everything that he's done up to this point. He ain't trusting him with that. At all. What did I wanted power for in the first place? Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? Yeah. So would people from the slums murdering him to try to get somebody better in here who would help them more. That would also ruin everything for them, and yet that has been the thing that has happened, or attempted to happen. You're trying to add logic to somebody who does not think logically. Ever believe me? That said, maybe I'm over-exaggerating. Maybe I'm seeing him as more dramatic than he is. Maybe I'm reading too strongly into it. Before me floats a man, twisted and writhing in pain. Although whether what I'm looking at could be said to resemble a human is a difficult question. It's hazy, indistinct. It's a hazy, indistinct shape, on the precipice of being consumed by darkness everlasting. I know very well what I'm looking at. Moments before a man's soul shatters. Did I do the same thing to him that Morgana did to me? Was it I who summoned the darkness? Who laid his past bare? Who forced him to relive these events, to experience once more everything he felt, everything he thought? Oh yeah, he had a chance, absolutely, and he totally chose not to. Yep, that is factual. He chose the nobody can use this against me path. Yep. Forced, who put him through that despair a second time. I can only imagine how he must have felt, causing someone he once cared for so much pain. The things he did are abhorrent, more than deserving of reproach. It would undoubtedly be easier for him to simply vanish into the eternal abyss. But I can't allow that to happen. He still has work to do. His story is essential. It's almost certain Morgana still doesn't know who he really is. He needs to face her, to reveal the truth with his own words. It's the only way we're going to get her to have a change of heart. It's not all he has to say to her either, so I must bring him back, pull him out of the darkness. I grab the man by the arm and begin scouring the blackness for an exit. After some time I see a speck glistening high above, so I make my way upwards, back into the harsh light of the real world. Yeah, sometimes just gotta go up. The darkness parts and we re-emerge in the dining hall. The man is still straddling me, dagger held above his head, just as he had been before our trek into his past. His eyes are open wide and his hand is trembling. A few moments later, his fingers go slack and the blade slips from his grasp, piercing the wood floor by my face. Hey, what was that? I swear I saw some kind of black cloud or something. What happened to you two? Neither of you saw any of that? Saw what? If you didn't see anything, then don't worry about it. The necklace. That must have been the key to unlocking his memories. Like when I touched the mirror in the mansion. I have no idea why certain objects show me different memories, but I got what I needed, I think. Fairly certain the white-haired girl is Morgana now. The things Jacopo did to her and felt for her behind the third door have much in common with him and Morgana in this life. Why? Why did you dig that up? Why the hell did you do that? Why did you show me my former self? Why did you make me watch that? Why didn't you tell her? Had you only opened your mouth? Oop, didn't actually see the second bit. Told her you weren't the previous lord, and told Morgana the truth. You told her you really were. Things could have turned out differently. Turned out differently how? Knowing would have only worsened her pain. Yes, you're exactly right. The man who once saved her life is now the source of all her misery. How would knowing that do anything but cause her more despair? The least you could have done then was let her go free. I'd already put money into setting up the church here. Her arm had been cut off. There was no turning back. Can't go back from that. You could have, yes. You could have stopped then and there. Don't act like you know anything. You couldn't possibly comprehend the weight on my shoulders, you dirty peasant. You're right, I can't. I'll be damned if I want to. To hell with understanding the feelings of a man who could so easily lose sight of what mattered most for a little power. Money, power. It's not what you really wanted to hold dear. So why couldn't you let go of that? Why did you have to go and let what mattered most slip through your fingers? Had you done anything, it wouldn't have had to come to this. I couldn't have people knowing where I came from. I needed wealth, rank. Now, you didn't need any of that. Do you have any idea how much Morgana treasured her time with you and Maria? Do you know how she described that period? As one of the brightest chapters of her life. Those 3 years she spent at the brothel until it was attacked. She said that was where she learned how to find joy in life. No, she would never say any of that. Why do you refuse to believe me? She never opened up to anybody. That's all just your fantasy, what you want to see in her. You're trying to convince me of something that was never there. No, I think he's right, Lord. I believe she did feel that way. The day I killed that carriage full of slaves 4 years ago, this girl you're talking about, she was there. What? That can't. And she said this to me before I began my massacre. I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me. She was crying as she did. So that's who she was talking about. It was you. There's no way. When exactly did the brothel attack 4 years ago take place? It was the winter. I see. Winter 4 years ago is when I met the girl too. That reminds me. She mentioned something unpleasant happening to her 4 years ago during one of our conversations. She was forced to part ways with the people who taught her that humans are capable of kindness. She was talking about you. There's still time. You can still set Morgana free. You can still reveal your true self to her. She was likely in shock that day, not seeing or thinking straight. She still thinks you're someone else. Hearing you were the Lord it set something off inside her, preventing her from seeing who you really were. Her time in the previous Lord's captivity left scars even deeper than she knew. So all it took was that one word, and in her eyes you became him. Which isn't to say you haven't caused her much pain yourself, but I still believe your truth is the key to allaying her hatred. It will change her perception of the world. I'm certain of it. So please, release Morgana and spill your heart for her. I was planning to end it all with the Harvest Festival. What? I was already planning to set her free then. I knew damn well it was much too little, much too late, but I needed an excuse to face her. Some occasion to give me that last nudge. So I told myself, it's going to be the day. That's when I'm going to do it. But you had to show up out of nowhere, digging up my past, throwing all my plans out the window, making me do it, like, 12 hours earlier than I was gonna. Come on, man. You still think I'm the reason your carefully laid plans fell apart? I'll let her go during the Harvest Festival. Tomorrow she goes free. Tomorrow is too late. What difference does it make? When the bell tolls noon on the day of the Harvest Festival, Morgana dies. I had more than enough of your so-called prophecies. I'm done. Why do you still refuse to believe me? I'm not making anything up. From the future, I know how this ends. Having an occasion and a plan can certainly make it easier to take action. You can't just wait for the right occasion for everything. That tracks as something that is a weakness of his. Sometimes if you don't act on something as soon as you're decided to do it, you'll miss your chance. In your next life, you make the same mistakes. You lock someone up that you care about, eventually causing her to break down entirely. You're so fixated on waiting for the right occasion, you completely destroy any chance of salvaging anything. If you're set on releasing her, then release her. Jacopo! Stop being so damn fixated on your occasions already. Enough. Damn you. You're right. You don't have to tell me I'm being a fool. I'll do it. Right now, I'll do it. I'll release her. Thank you for making up your mind. I didn't make the lock require 3 keys because the weight was too much to bear alone. It's because having others with me would force me to keep up the Lord facade, to prevent me from letting anything slip. Or maybe I was just waiting, hoping someone would betray me, make me pay. Pathetic, I know. You can have the necklace. It belongs to you. Though I doubt Morgana will accept it, I hope you'll still attempt to give it to her yourself. Will you do that? Where did you get that anyway? From Maria. Thought she would have thrown it out by now. I assume she doesn't think very highly of me. Be honest with me. She was planning to kill you. Maybe that would have been for the best. To her, I'm nothing but a power-hungry traitor. The necklace, I'll take it. There you are. When he takes the necklace, Jacopo looks as though he's on the verge of tears. Whether from the pressure of not wanting to lose face, or simply because he's no longer able to, he doesn't actually shed any, though. The other two just stand and watch him quietly. Neither of them saw the vision of his past, but they don't pry either. Our exchange was probably sufficient to give them an idea of what happened, even if they don't know the details. Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts but for a brief moment, I see an image of the young man he used to be in his slightly slouched shoulders. Well, we got the keys. They each insert and turn their individual keys, the lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open. No, that's the door into the brothel. Different door. Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair. And now is no different. I succeeded, though. I've got all of them here. I've got them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I have changed the past. Giselle. You hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle. It's me. Come on. You guys hear talking behind the door? Is there someone else in there with her? Couldn't be. It's only Morgana. Stay with me, please. Come on. You can't give up now. Be quiet. Oh. There is someone in there with her. That we can hear, at least. Don't be quiet, as if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do. I am... No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, my body moves on its own. I shove my way past the other men and push open the door. I know. I'll come up with something pleasant. Take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. A story? How about this? A dove flies in through the window above a piece of parchment tied to its leg. It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land. You read it, and then you write a response. Yeah, this is the first look at her face we really get. I don't respond. After changing letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all. I don't want you to give up hope. Baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see. We're all stunned to silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is and where she came from. But I can't. This is just... No one should have to go through this. Your mind is split into two. Oh, Morgana, looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood, or they've got no use for me anymore and are here to kill me. Don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Morgana, you know what my wish is. Kill me. Curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana. Look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote any letters. He's got long hair as white as snow and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful, like an angel descended from heaven. An angel? Morgana. I've come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say. Jeez. Morgana. Angel? Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have the chance to hold you while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun. You can go back to your old life. Angel. Morgana. No one's going to hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door, none of them had any malice for you. Angel. You're free. You can go free again. Angel. You can have a normal life. No one's going to take any more of your blood. Angel. Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you. I've waited so long for this moment. Morgana, I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel? Are you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please deliver me into my Father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. She doesn't even capital I herself. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. Oh, holy servant of the Lord. You are an angel, aren't you? Anna, please, deliver me from this place. Yes, that's right. I am... For now, yes, I will be. I am the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul unto God the Father. Your angel. I have descended from heaven above. It's wonderful. Morgana, his father, is he proud of me? Your Father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you've done in his name. Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you to see him. Morgana! 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 Her body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away. Yeah, I'm not going to anime scream it. I have other people in this house who definitely don't want screaming coming from this room, and I don't want to blow my vocal cords. I ain't trained for that. There should have been more than enough time to spare, but I still failed to save her life. At the very least, I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments. I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? too late. Why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? So how come we still didn't make it? Why didn't you do anything? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Why? Answer me. I have no answer for you. I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly. We should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. But first, we need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. We need to ensure her soul can depart in peace. You won't see me objecting. You need to say now what you were going to say to her. You must let her know the truth. She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now? You really that dense? Of course it will do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her soul is still here, watching everything. Listening to every word you say. I don't believe in souls. Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul seethe in hatred. Please. I'm begging you. Okay. Morgana, I am not the Lord you knew. The man who put you through that hell, I killed him. I am the man who freed you from his grasp. I am the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day I'd come to rub ointment on your face. I'd tell you to look at me and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I can only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep, me always trying to sneak glances at you. So much I never managed to tell you. I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me, and I don't want you to either. I just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. Instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Totally, Sora. Totally. Not the beautiful, unimaginably wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you, when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it and more. I was ready to pay with my life if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely anything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. I waited too long to bring myself to action. Morgana, the man there, he told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. It's everything. Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel. Morgana, I also want to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it, I really do, and yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done. I want to make amends, whatever it takes. If you want me to give you my life now, I will, or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too. I am an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You were right to be afraid of me. I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry, I can't come up with anything better to say. Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please? You should be the one to carry her. You're far better suited to the job. My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. I'll help you lift her then. You said it was my words she needed to hear most, but ultimately, it's you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel, so the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, would you do it for her? Very well. Jacopo puts the necklace around Morgana's neck. He then lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower as he had in. Walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighed down by the knowledge of their sins. They must make their way. So I actually want to do this. Realize we haven't saved at all. And only wondering more and more how we can have different endings. This really does seem to be heading towards a visual novel's gonna visual novel, you know? Yeah, him saying sorry is a lot, and knowing that he means it. They must make their way to the place they will make their atonement. Of course. I mean, that's the route we started on. We gotta keep to it. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. Some of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart, and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors. When we stepped through this door and people see Morgana's body, we'll be made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible, so the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. The girl died because of the things I did. You can't just pretend I didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to. I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you. Well then, say, Mikhail? Yes? I figure this is probably my last chance to say it, so thank you for convincing me to hand over my key, for giving me the courage to open my eyes. You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves. I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, to not run away or try to ignore it. I have no doubt you will be. The trials you've made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance, of feelings kept secret and good intentions gone wrong. You can face the problem when it arises rather than look away. I'm certain you can find your way to a better future. You mean in my next life? I do. Trust you know what you're talking about then, and burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away. Please do. I'm glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like to think we could be friends. Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun. What? Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around. Just joking. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, hold on. Nose. Being stupid tonight. You keep telling me you weren't an angel, kept telling me, but you actually are, aren't you, bro? I promise you, I'm a regular man. You told Morgana you were an angel. Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life. I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time. Please do. If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. Burn it into my soul. I'd rather like that. I think I'll follow the boy's lead there. That would be best. And I'll be praying that, even if you aren't capable of love, you'll be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. That you'll be able to make her happy by doing so. still think she'd be better off never knowing me. Whether you want her to or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you and fall in love with you. You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman. I can't say I disagree. Well, I guess this is goodbye then. And it is. I know everyone else is doing it, but I got nothing to say to you. Didn't expect you would. Heh. Well, I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you. What might that be? Be more open with yourself. If you had only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently, in both this life and your next. Excuse me. Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way. Excuse me. Do I really look that closed off? In more ways than one, yeah. That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. Don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are. Now consider it. This next life nonsense you're selling is true. Please do. Lord have mercy. One hell of a man certainly busted his way into my life. Last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open the door. Impressive work for one man. It was not only my doing. I had help from a number of people. It was you, Giselle. You did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray your next lives may turn out better. Suppose we should be getting going then. Off to pay for our crimes. To relieve her soul of some of its pain. And I suppose to make sure their next lives go a little better. Let's. Places a hand on the large door, then takes a step forward. The door lets out a heavy groan, and moonlight slips through the widening crack. It's all over now. I did it. I changed the past. What? What the hell? What I see beyond the door is not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down over the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice. The weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms, and then... out in the courtyard. Mel. Nellie. I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life. No! There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her. And at the door just to my back, Copo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed... Oh, that's what this is. As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. Same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why, when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down, I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, that gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past. I was able to summon the darkness because this isn't the real world. Merely a reconstruction. I mean, there's also that. It's hard to stop, you know, blood disease. Rejection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. I'm currently sometime after all that, sometime beyond the era Morgana lived, beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies are history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then? Did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives, by convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing? Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples through the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside the tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damned waste of time? But my cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No, I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did, it wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me. I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. That has to change how you see them, at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, then that should cause the cursed mansion to disappear. Set their souls free. I'll take that leap of faith, that what I've done is enough, and make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. Coming back, Morgana, I'm returning to that house, to that world of blackness seething with hatred, to my present. Going to try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you. To face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze towards the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my body, mind, and soul follow soon after. The bloody, corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves. And I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage. Squeeze my eyes as tight as I can. You know what? I'm going to save here, both because I was thinking of saving, and also because this will make 3 saves in a row of just a blank, pitch-black screen, and that's not going to be confusing for the future whatsoever. Cool. Also, excuse to drink. Squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back. The tears spilling down my cheeks. Hope you get something good.
Taru.
Caught a barrel,
That
you
means
know?
barrel.
Congrats. Mikhail. Open your eyes, Mikhail. Come to me. What? We meet at last. Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. Where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here? Do you know who I am? Of course I do. How could I not know who you are? Splendid. What are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? Why can I not speak? I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I've forgotten. To remember who I am. To remember who you are. You mean that you're a part of Morgana? My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. While you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. Oh, Mikhail, namesake of the great Archangel Michael, and man of tremendous virtue. I've brought you here to ask for your assistance, and I pray you will be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade, and with it extinguish my soul. What are you? Extinguish your soul? I realize it's cruel for me to ask this of you, and for that I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me all. Can you grant this girl her selfish request? It's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from this mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to the cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul? I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. Whilst true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them, if I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for a brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend. Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you? I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them. Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable? What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Mikhail? The question of what I am. The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in that tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering. But there's more to the story than that, Mikhail. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving, and she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me. Caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiving. And then she severed that part of her soul. So that's why you always seem so normally pure-hearted. I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually, that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it's born, Miguel? To live. I wished for continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist. I refused to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live. I was supposed to remain within Morgana as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe. I wished to live, Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls. Though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so, the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly, a house that sat outside the curtains of time, one that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul. I mean, it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion, but your own wish? And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed, which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good for them, to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence malevolent. Don't say that. I was the true witch, the true demon child. Stop talking, please. It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all. Please stop. The universe must be returned to its proper state, Mikhail. Don't talk about yourself like that. I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form. But why? I do not belong here. I never belonged here. What's so wrong with wanting to live? The defect must be repaired. You're not a defect. Damn it, why couldn't I be able to get a word in now, at least? The restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state, and perhaps when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which that flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her, whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedy should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to the cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. I foresee options. Oh, and also, please, kill me. Yep. I mean, that is the Mikhail answer. 100%. She makes a very convincing argument as to why this is necessary, however. Also, I am not actually given a choice here, so... You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul, but do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way? Won't you do this for me? You cannot. You could never take that sword. I know it's unfair to me of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this ersatz life. For the man I admired so deeply, he admired me. Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house. And in the moment of your death, Mikhail, I was born. You saw my death? Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, You watched your own mother burn your crucified body. You wished for release rather than for revenge. There's nothing honorable about that. I had just lost all hope for myself. I expect you'll disagree with me, say that it was a sign of your weakness, but that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction, and I admire that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow white hair and ruby red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel from whom you took yours. I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration. My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who quite literally idolized you to her very soul. Don't. Couldn't ask for a greater honor. How can you tell me that? And to be erased from the world by you, my idol. Then ask me to kill you. Please, Mikhail, be the one to send me off. It's the one option. No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life. Don't know if you've realized it yet, Mikhail, but this isn't the first time we've actually met. Or this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that until now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet still you hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy. I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we've formally met, but I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger. With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse and the eternal cycle of agony it brings will be no more. When I am gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer. Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? Release everyone from this curse? I get the feeling we're going to come up with some sort of timed thing. I'm going to start saving over these early ones just so I don't have to keep moving pages, because I really doubt we're going to ever need to go back to these early things. And if we do, we can find a chapter select. We'll be okay. For now, I'm overwriting them just so I don't have to keep skipping pages to save. I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself. I am incapable of taking my own life, Mikhail. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing it. No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world. I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you great heartache, and for that I offer you my sincerest apologies. So long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save? It doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion, that no one would have to suffer anymore, that there would be no more tragedies. Why did I say so? It's a casual thing. Mikhail, take the sword, please. Worry not, Mikhail. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You cast off the darkness inhabiting the house. Set all its prisoners free. Give Morgana her salvation. And give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in inequity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. Oh, Mikhail, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Mikhail. You must be the one to do this. Well, thank you, Mikhail, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever, and will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, you to keep just a little bit of me, in a corner of your soul, Mikhail, to remember me, to remember the life I lived. That would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Mikhail. You may very well be a genuine. Gotta hit us with that Emmett Cell credit at the end, you know. The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all. She deserved better. So much better than that. Oh, now's not the time to grieve. There's work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me. What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me. Morgana. How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't. There were two different lords. The one of the estate, and the one who locked you in the tower. How? What was he doing there? I didn't. The man I was trying to curse. It's the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I... Are you saying I remembered wrong? It's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second. We're in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true. Why? Just why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him, and he turns out to be the one pulling the strings? You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved, that should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then. You can sympathize with that monster. In what way? He loved you. Sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, I understand how that would have hurt. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Like I said before, you started all of this. It doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make me any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being. It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature. That's not me. You're right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say, with certainty, that she was a part of you. A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains, she was closer to you than anyone else, in every sense of the word. And you see the situation you're in, Morgana. The terrible, tragic irony of it all. You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana. Take a step towards her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says, "Stay back. You stay away from me. You've nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. It won't hurt you." I said, "Stay back, you..." I bet you think this is hilarious, that I'm blind and a fool. Morgana. Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my big secret, that I am a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death, discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I've made myself into quite the laughingstock. I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathized with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. Lamentation's another great word. Just like it. I understand your pain. That boat has long since sailed. You're right, it has. This is a realization I should have come to much sooner. Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away, so I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out towards her. She stands there bewildered as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her, and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as the skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life. But unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseparable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering, together. It's going to be okay. What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done, of all the pain I've caused you? No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed. Then do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me? You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. Nor, I'm certain, does Giselle. You're much too forgiving. Imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will towards one of our kind. Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words. How much you irritate me. The bite slowly drains from Morgana's voice. and in the quiet, I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. It quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hands away as I reach them onto her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. Run my fingers across her exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood covering her face. Look at that. You're quite pretty without your face hidden. I didn't think you were the flattering type. She's just Morgana now. Yeah, she's just Morgana now. I assure you, I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. If Morgana had a less harrowing life, this is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl. You look nothing alike, I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me. But she was also once a part of you. The last thing I want is to be like her in any way. And why is that? Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary. So that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I'm so sure she was you. It made it all the more frustrating. Why would her being me bother you so much? Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight. Is that how she saw me? How wouldn't it bother me that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now that I know it wasn't you, so... You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike? Apparently so. Hold on a second. Why would that bother you? I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So you've got my attention. Uh-oh. Just gonna, you know. Still can't, no. At least I've stopped hitting this one. At least I'm hitting a face button this time. What are you planning to do now? To leave the mansion with you. To set everyone free and break the curse. Setting them free will set you free as well. So you want me to release their souls. Exactly. Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't going to just vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But, you're right. This has gone on long enough. Morgana, I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. It's all your fault. So sure, I'll release their souls. I'm so glad to hear it. However, I don't want to see them alone. Not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own. That won't be a problem. I'll go with you. We'll go see them together. You get to be my guide this time then. You get to take up Giselle's old mantle. That I do. Even if it means taking this hand, I honestly think I have any reservations about that. God, I swear, you really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear, to where their souls wait. Very. I mean, come on. You think you go from being fueled exclusively by hatred for like 1,000 years and suddenly flip a switch and can, show something that's not hatred? Nah, you soon the fuck up. Hand in hand, we travel the cursed mansion's corridors. The halls overflow with darkness, cut off from the sun and devoid of color. Oops, all soon. Yeah. But the soon implies the daring. Despite having spent much time in this place, it's never stopped being depressingly gloomy. No one, for any reason, should be left behind in a place like this. Yes, sir. 100%. Possibly higher than 100%. We cross through the living room, making our way to the back garden door. Fear takes a shot at Sora, hits Ramen, There are no children laughing behind the door, but I can faintly smell flowers. Kale, what am I supposed to say to them? Nothing comes to mind. You don't have to say anything. Get the feeling they'll have something to say to you, though. So if you would, try to hear them out. I'm not looking forward to this. It'll go fine, I promise. Nothing that happens could possibly make things worse than they already are. The only way to go from here is up, so up we go. Let's go, then, I suppose. A hollow breeze brushes through the grave-filled rose garden. The shadow standing there turns towards us. It gradually starts looking more and more like the young man it once was. Morgana? It's okay. We're here to free your soul. Kale? You forgive me for what I did, Morgana? No, I don't. All this means is that I'm done cursing you. Either way, thank you. I know what I'm doing here now. Or I guess I remember what I'm doing here. I deserve to be cursed after everything I've done to you. It can't have been easy, that's for sure. I'm sorry, all the pain I caused. What's done is done. I guess. Still, I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be friends. I mean it. I meant it. I really did. I know now why you did what you did, why you sold me out. Some people might say you had no other choice, but it's the girl you actually sold out. Those are words you'll never hear from my lips. Fair enough. Nonetheless, objectively speaking, you two were a victim. Do you not resent me for punishing you in spite of that? Huh? I presume you're now able to recall everything, both your first life and the second one I subjected you to, when the house was called Rose Manor. Yeah. What happened then was the result of my wish. You have every right to despise me. The way I see it, with or without your curse, Nellie still would have had the same feelings for me. It was my fault for being too dense to realize she thought of me as more than a brother. Things would have turned out that way, the way they did regardless. The white-haired girl was the spark that set her off, though. It was because of me that she ended up at the mansion. My wish was to see your life utterly ruined, and in service of that desire, the white-haired girl was born into that era as your half-sister. So I disagree. My curse did play a significant role in your fate. Regardless, I don't feel like it would be right of me to blame you. Things turned out the way they did. Because I was weak and ran from the problem instead of facing it. Michelle wouldn't have had to get hurt otherwise, or Michelle wouldn't have had to get hurt otherwise, either. If only I'd had more of a spine. I guess calling her Michelle is kind of confusing with Mikhail here, huh? How should I refer to her then? Girl Michelle, maybe? Creativity is not your strong suit, is it? She wouldn't happen to be around, which... She has departed from this world, or perhaps it would be better to say, she's returned to her rightful place in it. The girl you knew as Michelle is gone forever. That's too bad. was hoping I could apologize to her too. Believe you've made your feelings quite clear. Not that she would hold it against you if you didn't apologize. It's simply her nature. Oh, well, Morgana, I'm so sorry for everything. Going to free your soul from the bonds of this cursed mansion, after which it should return to its rightful place. Okay? But before that, I've got one last thing I'd like to say. To you, Mikhail. To me. It's a little hazy, but I did kind of get to see what you were up to until just a little bit ago. If you hadn't done what you did for me, for Nelly, for Morgana, for everyone, I'm not sure I would have been able to work up the guts to apologize. Pretty sure I would still be convinced I wasn't at fault. It may not have been real, but your effort wasn't in vain. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell, Mel. Till our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. Didn't have to tell me that he wasn't a bad person. No, you don't have to tell me. But bad people aren't the only ones who do bad things. It's true, yes. But having a conscience can be a double-edged sword. The regret is so overwhelming you don't want to believe you could do something so awful that some outside force must be to blame. So I hope you're willing to accept at least part of his apology. Lead the way, my dear, to where the next soul awaits. The staircase leading to the cellar is quiet, the air still. Preemptive ramen, we're not there yet. No sounds of flesh being devoured, no stench of blood. Just darkness, reaching ever downward. I'm going to have to ask you to go in first this time. Don't mind, but why? I'd rather not be skewered. I'll be fine, I'm sure. I doubt he'll attack. I can't say I'm anywhere near as confident as you. So you get to be my meat shield should anything go wrong. So that's what I am to her. We may not have bodies, but we are still capable of feeling pain. You don't have to remind me. I have to say, I'm surprised you actually made it to the top of the tower. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Half and half. Regardless, don't assume you're safe just because you're already dead. If you were to attack and destroy your soul, you would be erased for all eternity. There would be no coming back in any shape or form after any amount of time. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not worried. We shouldn't have any trouble talking to him. If you say so, then off we go. We'll see, yeah, there's some barrels. Push open the cellar door. Behind it, a shadow of a man sits on the floor, leaning against a stack of boxes. He slowly rises to his feet upon hearing us enter, and as he does, the blackness dissolves away, revealing the man. I almost didn't recognize you. Your face, it's not how I remember. Back to normal. I see. So you weren't a witch. You were a pretty human girl. You look a little like the blind girl. No, I do not. Not one bit. If anything, he looks far more like her than I. White hair, red eyes, they even have almost the same name. I think comparing her to a large, dour-looking man is a bit disrespectful. Don't pretend you look any more approachable. He's not even half the man you think he is. Is that really necessary, Morgana? He is a man. He's indisputably a man, no matter what reason you have to claim otherwise. Oh. Bro backing me up. Actually, the angels be male or female? Can you please cut it with the angel thing already? Bro, I may murder countless innocents, but I would never misgender you, bro. What brings you two down here? We're here to free your soul. You're forgiving me? Absolutely not. However, I've decided there's no point in punishing you any further. I see. You are, in no uncertain terms, one of the most evil men I have ever encountered. I can hardly argue with that. Should you so desire, I can eradicate you. Morgana, what are you? Let me finish, Mikhail. Instead of letting your soul return, I can erase it. Your existence is a scar on the world. The allure of killing is too strong for you to resist. Even without my curse, you would bring pain and misfortune on others. You're right. And that would probably be for the best. The world would be better off without me. And I know that. I do. But I don't want to disappear. As you wish, then I will release your soul. Before I go, allow me to burn this into my soul. You must resist temptation if you are to blend in. So in my next life, I won't be a killer. Suppose it's worth trying. Do your best. I will. Farewell, Yukimasa. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. That is a shockingly hard sentence to say, okay? It's tripped me up twice. It doesn't seem that bad, but it is clearly shockingly difficult to say. Farewell, Morgana. He's not the only one who derived pleasure from others' pain. Morgana, it's strange. Setting them free, I both feel like a weight's been lifted, and like I'm the greatest villain of them all. Well, she said it, perhaps by forgiving them, you can come to forgive yourself. But if I forgive them, what does that make everything I've done up to now? The past? The first step towards moving on. Look, clearly what she has right now is Mikhail. Mikhail is doing a lot of good for her. But do you know what she needs right now more than any other human being? She needs Ichiban. Ichiban Kasuga. Just get over here. More than anything. Could you forgive those who wronged you then? The woman who tormented you? Your brother who made a mockery of you? Your eldest brother who took your life? Your mother, so unwilling to accept you, she burned you at the stake, even. The villagers who falsely accused you of being a witch. Your father who raped the woman you love. Could you forgive them? If they were willing to repent. And if they weren't, what if they showed up intent on causing you more pain? Then I suppose I'm not acting much better than any of them right now. Let's go. We have one more soul to free. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Is Giselle really there with you? Because I can't sense her at all. If she were in the mansion, I would know, but I can't feel her presence anywhere. Be honest with me, you can't feel her either, can you? Are you sure her soul hasn't extinguished? She's here, I'm certain of it. Lost somewhere deep in the mansion's darkness. Once we've purged that darkness, she should be free to return. I have faith in her. You see. Well, I'm not sure how much this means coming from me. But I hope you see her again. I will. And thank you. I'm actually rather fond of her, Giselle. Though I suppose it's hard not to get a little attached to someone you spent several hundred years with. Just attached? Giselle, she's fairly fond of you herself. I can only hope. The smell of cigar smoke seeps through the cracks in the den door. It's perfectly quiet behind it, however. No chatter or clacking of billiards balls. Morgana appears slightly reluctant to step through the door, or perhaps she's tense. Shall we? Her hand in mine, I push open the door. A shadow is perched on the edge of a dark green rectangular table. He freezes for a moment when he hears us enter, quickly finding his composure and marching towards us, determination in his step. The shadow dissolves, revealing the man. Morgana. Your face, it healed. It did. It's been a long time coming. And would you look at that? Not a letdown. Was it him that healed you? Yes, it was him. Well, I'll be. I was always hoping I'd be the one to have the honor. You lost that qualification when you... Yeah, I know. I'm the one who made you into the witch. The one who killed you. I don't expect or deserve your forgiveness. It's like a chance to make amends in any way you wish, even if it means being cursed for all eternity. I'm here to release your soul. Once that's done, that's it for me. No curses, no forgiveness, nothing. Huh. So you're cutting ties completely. Damn. Truthfully, I had no idea how you felt about me. But that ship sailed long ago. Far, far too long ago. I know. Nothing can change how I feel about you. Not anymore. I bet. Going to release your soul now. Could you hold off on that a moment? I don't expect you to reciprocate or even accept. But if I don't put my feelings into words, I'll never get them through to you. I think that's how she put it anyway. So I ask for this one last chance to put them into words. Morgana, the girl with the white hair, my wife. Michelle, whatever. Something about that name always felt off to me. I could never shake the feeling that calling her that was somehow wrong. When I first saw her, saw that smile, I was dead certain that she was what had always been missing from my life, that I'd finally found what I'd been searching for. And now, I know why. Because I felt you in her. Memories of you ingrained on my soul. You should know better than anyone that we're nothing alike. That girl wouldn't say anything remotely impolite, even if you held a knife to her throat. You're right, you're nothing alike. You've both got this aura about you that drew me in. Your soul's aura. I loved you dearly, Morgana. I've got no right to ask anything of you, I know. But could you maybe smile for me? Just once is all I ask. I can't do it. I should. I know I should. That it would let us end things on a nice note. But I can't force myself to smile. It wouldn't be fair. Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for putting you in that position. I've said my piece. I'm ready now. Okay? Very well then. Farewell, Jacopo, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. Couldn't have done anything more for him? Such as... I won't deny that my feelings about him are complicated, but the things he did to me, they eclipse all that. Merely learning the truth, hearing how he felt, is nowhere near enough to erase that. Couldn't you at least put a little hope in your next lives? That maybe you two could try again? No. No, I can't. I don't want to encounter him again, ever. Then, if nothing else, could you try not to forget that he did save you once? I suppose. Though my salvation, Mikhail, was not ultimately at his hands. I was watching to the very end. It may all have been an illusion constructed from the memories of everyone's souls. It didn't make your actions any less real. The things you said to me, your earnest desperation. Better. Learning the truth is only partially why I decided to release their souls. The biggest reason, however, was seeing how far you went for me. If you hadn't been there for my death, if you hadn't done what you did, I would not have freed them. Nonetheless, is it unfair of me to wish you'd shown him that smile instead? Morgana? Well, that's the last of them. Shall we be off now? The front door should open, now that I'm not willing it closed any longer. Shall we take our leave of this house? I should be able to do a manual save too, but it just kind of panicked. Okay, we can do a manual save. I mean, there's clearly one more stop to make. There's still one more soul that needs releasing. Be my guide. It's gotta be this. Like, it. I'm going. I feel like for a while, other than the one joke, "I'm God" answer that I thought would immediately bad end us, just for laughs. I'm trying to go generally with what I think is the right answer, / what I think he'd pick. That one was meant to be a joke that just kept going. Still holding Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall, where the landscape painting hangs. They told me to come back if I ever figured out your name, George. Hey, Mikhail? Hello. Huh, how'd you figure out it was me? Of course I'd recognize my own brother. Well, granted, I didn't recognize you at first. It's not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh? Came as quite a surprise when I finally made the connection. Oh, sorry, wrong. Should read the names. I'll bet it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers? I assumed you knew. Oh, hello there. Quite the companion you've got there, Mikhail. So what brings you two to my little corner of the house? Decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh, really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I just told you what I'm having for supper. This place is going to disappear forever. Well, yeah, sure, but what brought about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Wow, now that's some good news. You seem to get along surprisingly well with her. Time out the hoo-ha and nobody else to talk to will do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here and listen to you yammer on for hours on end? Yeah, Who could possibly be expected to do that, Morgana? Who could possibly be expected to listen to somebody just talk into their ear for hours on end without being able to stop? Things are getting better. The pot meat kettle. The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into. Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting? As she was. Just tossed it right in the window without even asking. Why would you get rid of the key to my room? I had no use for it, and being in that room always made me uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth to it. Couldn't stand it. Ah. Sure glad she only tossed the key in, though. Would have been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. Did find it curious there was a soul here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless, so I simply pretended you weren't there. So she ignored him for hundreds of years? I understand now what you meant, Mikhail, when you said this world didn't belong only to me. Your brother was able to find his way here, because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. I'm no expert on none of this spiritual stuff. All I know is one day I was just here. Here and full of regret. So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Mikhail. George, would you be so kind as to let me apologize? I know quite well how sorry you are, and you've already apologized once besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having any idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it's a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me what kind of person you really are, George. You didn't mean to hurt me. Nope. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. And when she told me she sent it off to you, I didn't really think anything of it. Never even crossed my mind to think about how you felt out there, all alone. What kind of pain you were going through just because of the way you were born. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to be completely blind to your own actions. It never even occurred to me that we'd essentially exiled you, Mikhail. Not until it was all over. Really, all I can say is, sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds, and I would have realized what we were doing. And you know, at the time, I thought, what's it matter if you're a guy or a girl? You're still you. But I was wrong. It's not that simple. I can only imagine someone coming up to me one day saying, nah, you're actually a girl. And everyone I cared about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'd be. I'm really sorry, bro. It's okay, George. I forgive you. Thanks. I wanted so badly to see you in Didier again, George. And while I didn't get that chance in life, I'm still glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now, to hear the things you never got to say. It pains me to see you reduced to this form. He said the thing, yeah. But knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret, that you were just that desperate to find me again, it warms my heart. What on earth was that? Me trying my damnedest not to burst into tears. I don't think it worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Could you feel it for me? I think I'll pass. Not feeling up for any brotherly love? Honestly, I'm relieved to see you're still the same George as I always knew. Changing ain't really my thing, after all. Suppose it isn't. This doesn't sit right with me. What? Why not? Letting him off the hook far too easily, Mikhail. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. Might as well have been what resurrected me. I've moved past that, though. Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him. Do what? Scrawl your anger all over that ridiculous painting. But I'm not angry. Now that's a damn fine idea if I ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Mikhail. George? Go on, hit me with everything you got. Scribble away. Even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with. Just use your finger and I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for? He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he? He more than deserves it, Mikhail. Bring it on, Mikhail. This conversation got bizarre fast. Okay. I'll draw on you. Oh my. That is downright ghastly. What? You might actually have potential, Mikhail. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you. 4 of them at that. And a demonic being alongside them. Oh, I could just feel your burning rancor, Mikhail. That's not what I drew at all. Then what is it? It's not important. Now that it's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave. Oh, I can come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Mikhail. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents. It's alright, I'll carry you. Careful taking me off the hook. By all means, feel free to drop him, Mikhail. Yep, finally got a cat. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight. It's definitely not every day you get to see a full-grown man turn painting being hauled down a spooky hall by his little bro. Boy, is it not! George. It does make me wonder, though. Are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Mikhail. We are brothers. Right, George? Whoa, whoa, don't you start questioning it too, Mikhail. We are absolutely positively 100% brothers. She has a good point, though. We don't even look that much alike. No shocking family plot twists here. I've known you since you were a baby, Mikhail. Maybe you were secretly illegitimate, George, not me. You're not going to let go of this, are you? Just playing with you. Oh my god, you just laughed. Yes? What? I didn't get to see it? What was it like? Give me all the details. An ordinary laugh. Is the world ending? It's not that big a deal. I laugh just like everyone else. No, you most certainly do not. Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, since we're breaking character here, how about one from our favorite witch too? And no cackling, that doesn't count. Excuse me, why would you want me to? Because every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good. Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big old grin. Not happening. Come on. Okay, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Mikhail. What? What do I have to do with anything? You can do it for old Mikhail, can't you? Show him those pearly whites, girly. I love the fact that we get to see her in this sprite form for such a small amount of this game, but they still gave her the like sarcastic eye roll. Phenomenal. If you insist, I suppose I could smile for Mikhail, but only him. Excuse me, was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Look at you, all puffing your cheeks and red in the face. George, try not to tease her too much. I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood. You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. Maybe the mood could slightly be improved occasionally. In voice? Fair. He sure is a character. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it somber and uptight. A somber and uptight affair. I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up. I do appreciate that. I feel like as time has gone forward in this segment of this chapter, she's only acting more like a 16-year-old, and that is only better for her. She's got a point, but I'm not that bad, am I? Anyway, we'll be off now. That we shall. The witch and her band of merry men departs. Not sure if one person in a talking painting constitutes a band. You only really need 3 people. Singer, guitarist, bass player, drummer. There you go. Hell, you could do it with 2, the White Stripes did. You could do it solo if you just singer-songwriter, but you know. Giselle, I know we'll find each other again. I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yes, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do, and retrieved George as well, we made our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there, firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations. But that time is almost at an end. The door ready to be opened. The end to end the cycle and begin anew. Being a painting for all these years, never realized just how big a place this was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and maybe a couple of doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know? Feels like I'm on an adventure, exploring a whole new world. Very, very dark world. Mikhail, do you mind shutting him up? If only it were that simple. Can you blame me for being talkative? It was a lonely life. That would be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatty. Well, if it was up to Morgana, it would be never, so you're going to have to find some sort of middle ground. Are you aware of where we are right now? The entryway, the entrance, by the look of things. Precisely. The end to a centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door. And you're chatting away like it's another day at the court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity, if you would. Starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Morgana? This is a day to be celebrated, not to be all stiff and no fun allowed. Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. And that is the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. And so long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end. Well said, Mikhail. If I had feet, you'd just swept me off right off them. Painting George is very good. George, I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at the wall. Now, let's not do anything hasty. Oh, for God's sake. You're the guide, so let's go then, shall we? Morgana's right. There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair. Thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever-playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive, to when it was me and my two brothers. Fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly, before the end. Take a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond, radiant and white, waiting to rip through the darkness. The light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, place my hands on its hard surface, and push it open, welcoming the future it holds. Burn the witch! What? Crucify the impure! Take one step back, then another. We find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and the stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy footstep, of the approaching night. Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights hanged upon the cross, purified by the fires of heaven. Death. What's going on? I never summoned this thing. Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl. Placing my arm around her shoulder and pulling her in, I stare half dumbfounded at the knight. It is our holy duty as knights of the church to deliver punishment unto the heathen who made a pact with the devil. The knight draws nearer and nearer, its movements sluggish but consistent. Didier, wait, for real? Crucify the witch. Cast judgment upon the demon. The word witch coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth, who is far more distressful for Morgana than me. Well, hold on. What's Dee doing here? Please come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. No, I'm not a witch. The knight is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him, but he bears the same muscular build as the Didier I knew in life, and he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I had hoped our reunion would go, Didier. Why, after so very long, is this how the three of us find each other again? Images flashed through my mind. The day I left the Bollinger estate, when Didier promised me we would one day meet again. Them each giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then George. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wish to be reunited with my brother? Is this the way fate chose to grant that wish? Burn the witch. Well, look at that. Guess I'm not the only block-headed brother, huh? George. If we get any better ideas, Mikhail, it's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't go as planned. Just like me, D cursed himself. Only it seems his was a whole lot more powerful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I? The unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty. Hey, D, are you in there? I shoved a whole lot of crap onto your plate. Keeping up the family name, taking care of Mom, just about everything I could leave to you, I did. I must uphold the honor of the family name. And then, when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced that you could do anything, that you were stronger than anyone. Crucify the witch. I'm sorry, D. Burn the witch. Continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier, please. My words don't seem to be either. Didier! He's closing in on us, and we're running out of space to retreat. Alright, D, that's how it's gotta be. Just this once, okay? The knight takes another heavy, merciless step towards us. The exit's right there, but we're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp, yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this. I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward with a sharp whoosh. Death. But then, breaking free from my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. I'm really sorry. I got stuck with a pair of dolts for brothers. George! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces George. George! George! His form wavers momentarily before fading into the darkness, his voice lingering behind. Don't worry about me, Mikhail. Got my share of redemption already. I know we can be a bit of a pain, but do for D what you did for me, would you? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big old breath, all out to our brother with everything you got. George. It is my duty to punish the impure. To uphold the Bollinger name. Didier! Despite already having stabbed George, the knight continues his march, blade pointed straight at me. I clench my teeth and glare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty as the eldest son. Excuse me. You deserve to be freed from your bonds as well. Be gone from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, and his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. And piercing my gut instead. Didier, it's okay. You can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier. Reach a hand out for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts. I can feel something hot rising in my throat. But that doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do what I can for him. Free him, bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here in need of your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding on with what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look me in the eyes, Didier. Please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then George's sacrifice will have been in vain. It's time for you to break free, for all three of us to be free, of the curses we placed on ourselves. Didier, please. I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times, clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Mikhail. Didier. Oh, thank goodness. You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Mikhail? It's nothing. I made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier. Caused you harm, attempted to take your life. It's all right, Didier. Mikhail. Release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name or uphold the Order's standards. You can do as you wish. Punish me for my wrongdoing. Please, Mikhail, punish me. Didier, cast your judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. It doesn't change what I did. I killed you. I hanged you from a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. Punish me, Mikhail. I implore you. Didier, I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day. Why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. You were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. You bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Bollinger's firstborn, you were obligated to protect the family's honor. As a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there was nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you, no resentment for the decision you were forced to make, and I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. I took the life of the purest soul I know. There's no honor in that. Didier, I put protecting the family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed in me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You were my brother, your family. And I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Bollinger's firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honored to have been born into the same family as you. Gail, that's something I never had the chance to tell you today. All my life, I looked up to you, admired you. I still do, even now. There's a next life awaiting us. I hope we can be brothers again, Didier. Would you mind if I wished for that? No. No, of course not. Please do. I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Mikhail. My dear little brother. Upon these words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. A white mist that almost looks like it's made of undulating particles of light rises up around him, and before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears streaking down his cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return, but if I were to guess, I'd say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he's completely faded away, I wrap my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me in the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. Didier, George, right now in this moment, I have no regrets about having been born a Bollinger. All I have is great pride. So I pray that one day, be it 10 or 1,000 years from now, the three of us can be reunited. I've got a number of things going through my mind right now. Morgana, just not sure how to put any of it into words. Don't worry, those words say everything. You can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise. No, I won't cry. I'll save my tears for our reunion. Oh, that painting, it didn't have to get itself destroyed. It'll be fine, I'm sure. I have faith. And as you know quite well, wishes do come true. Do you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones, and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my guts as I do. It's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them the chance. Leaning on Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance. You're not going to disappear, are you? Don't worry, Morgana. I won't disappear. Alright. Let's open the door together. Bring light into this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew. Brighter. Let's. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, my eyes on the future. It's time to open the door. Not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. Immersed in near blinding light, we pressed onward. It's white in all directions, not the tiniest speck of color to contaminate it. In fact, the concept of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no. It's not right. Not that I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of color, but white, the color, fills this plane. It's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother. Didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered yet again until nothing was left. And Giselle gave you that strength? She did. So what, you're going to wait here for her? I am. In that condition, I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back. Do you remember the warning I gave you in the mansion? About how if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence? Never to return in any shape or form. If you lose much more blood, that's what will happen to you. You'll be erased forever. Don't worry, I won't let that happen. You push yourself too hard, Mikhail. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose about half of that would be my doing. You may have caused me some pain, but I also wouldn't be here without you. What? I mean it. You say so. Besides, I've practically only ever seen you hurt, too. Suppose so. Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you. This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? If you were to be born again, do you want to be in a fully male body? That's what I've always wanted, so yes, I would. In your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again? Absolutely I do. And what if you could only have one or the other? Which would you choose? Do you even need to ask? No, I suppose not. You know, neither a witch nor a saint, just an ordinary, powerless soul now. So my wishes aren't likely to cause any more miracles, but I think I'll wish for something anyway. For what? Not telling. Well, I'll be off then. Alright. Didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words. You can say whatever you like. First thing that comes to mind is fine. Okay, then I'll say to you the same I said to them. Farewell, Mikhail, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell indeed. If, however, if by some infinitesimally low chance we do happen to meet again, don't know why that hit me so hard. Whew. Would you be my friend? Morgana. Absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way. Not a nice person, you know. Nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude. Will cause you much grief and pain. Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So, let's meet up in our next lives and become good friends. Not good friends, not acquaintances either. Just plain friends, understand? Understood. I'm rather looking forward to it. Now, this is goodbye for real. So I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Miguel. Thank you for everything. Morgana, farewell, until our souls cross paths once more. It's so quiet. So unbelievably desolate. It's just hell. I endured centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here for as long as I must. Of all the emotional stuff in the ending, I don't know why it was that line that hit me over the edge, but jeez. feel the mansion, that gathering place up for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle. I broke the curse, cast off the darkness. I saved Morgana, and all the other souls trapped there. I couldn't have done it without you. I miss you, Giselle. And all I want is to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth. Tell you how much I love your smile. I was really doing my best not to have to stop, not to break what little difference there even was between the two voices, but nope. Where are you, Giselle? I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back. I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. Coming to realize as I grow weaker that the will of one man is nothing in the face of the will of the universe. Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Excuse me. I can see right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone. And the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body. I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you say my name. I'm here, waiting for you. Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you? Even a little? I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned. Yeah. I like that even the layers to the music is fading. Because this track started out as borderline a cacophony. Like, there was a lot of layers of vocals and instruments and sound. Giselle.
Você me
Mikhail. Finally, I finally found you. Sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Mikhail. I know that's you. I'll always be able to recognize you, no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Mikhail. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I've ever seen. So much so I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from the darkness. I was right about you. You are strong, immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Mikhail? I'm sorry for keeping you waiting so long, for letting you deteriorate like that. But thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return, back to our rightful places. So please, Mikhail, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you, keep holding on. There's still so much I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I can have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Mikhail. Mikhail? I believe in you, Mikhail. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on. So I ask that one day you'll come and take my hand again. So I have to assume that was the good ending, and that had we picked not to go get George, that would have been bad. Mikhail Bollinger, age of death 21. Giselle, 27. Giselle, age of death 21. Morgana, age of death 16. Jacopo Barzati, age of death 26 and 67. Yukimasa Aida, the swordsman. Did we ever hear his last name? We must have heard his last name. Age of death 25. Like, we had heard Yukimasa. I don't remember Aida, but this wouldn't be the first time. Mel Rhodes, age of death 17 and 24. Maria Campanella, age of death 24. Pauline Ozma, age of death 22. Nellie Rhodes, age of death 14 and 18. Didier Bollinger, age of death 37. George Bollinger, age of death 42. Outlived them both? Didn't expect George to outlive Didier, but I guess Didier was also like a knight and involved in conflict, you know. Yeah, for the time, George lived an old age. Hello? Anybody in there? Class is about to start, and last I checked, the teacher never came in through the window. Oh, right. Just a second. Doing that a lot lately. Just staring out the window. You watching for something or just spacing out? There's this girl who's usually out there around this time every day. Right over there. See her? Ah, that one? Looks like she goes to the junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. But look at her hair. That flaxen color. It's almost the exact same color as mine. I can't get her out of my mind. Oh, really? If you're that interested, why not go have a chat sometime? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Obviously, you gotta go with the old classic. Hey, babe, want to get some ice cream and hang out? Sounds like a great way to get slapped. Not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know, like, curious. That's all. And I'm curious what makes your head work, because it sure ain't what everyone else is running on. Now get moving. It's almost time for class. Wait, I'm coming. I wonder what her name is. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It is true. Hey, did you hear about the new ice cream shop that just opened up down by the bus stop? I did. And I hear their mint is super good, too. Now I want to try it. What did you say? Want to go check it out? Let's go. Get some of that mint with a big pile of chocolate chips on top. Oh, I know. I'll get a double scoop. That sounds amazing. I'm going to go get a double too. But the line's going to be crazy. We better get going or... Ah. What is it? There's a cute boy who goes to that school there. And I think we just locked eyes for a second. Oh? What's it look like? A prince. A prince? Seriously? Don't be making fun of princes now. You're not 9. You're 14. And you still haven't grown out of your fairy tale phase? Like, oh my god. Just you wait. One of these days I'll meet a real prince, then you won't be laughing anymore. Like you'd ever be able to get a real prince's attention. Hey, that's not very nice. Jerk, blockhead, meanie. Come on, let's get going. Oh, fine. I'll show you one day. That is my prince. Being improved in London and just simply not related. Drastic improvement. Couldn't be luckier to have a talented engineer like yourself assigned to our branch. Give me too much credit, sir. See an engineer in this life? You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen your record, and you come highly recommended from HQ. Got high hopes for you. The higher your hopes, the greater the fallout when I make a mistake, which frightens me. Well, what you call a mistake is what we generally refer to as a great accomplishment. Don't think I've ever met anyone as close to the perfect human being as you. I'm far, far from perfect. You Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? Yeah, okay. I didn't want to fully commit without knowing for sure, but, you know. What is it? I thought I just saw a woman I recognized. We get a lot of tourists from your parts of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all. The art museum! Shopping! How can you take a vacation to France and not want to see the art? We were there all day yesterday, and you agreed before we left today would be a shopping day. That was before I realized just how big it was, just how many beautiful paintings they had on display. There's no way one day is enough to see it all. One whole day of my vacation bored out of my skull. Not like you can eat the stuff, so what good is it anyway? Please, how about this? We go to a different museum, just no art this time. Oh, what kind of museum if you don't want to look at art? A torture museum. I think I hate you. Lighten up. You telling me you don't want to see centuries of torture devices from all around the world? Absolutely not. Then we stick to the plan to go shopping. Oh, have it your way. But you didn't have to be so... Watch out, behind you. What? Ah! God damn, that hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. Learn to watch where you're walking, why don't you? If you're so desperate to make a damn ruckus, go find a cafe somewhere out of the way. Well, excuse me. I apologize, didn't I? Don't need to be such a dickwad. Have you ever heard of talking, or is yelling the only thing you're capable of? This is why I can't stand tourists. If you're going to live in a giant popular city, if you're going to live in probably Paris, you're going to have tourists. Have some damn consideration for the people who aren't just here to fool around. For the love of God! Hell's got your panties in a... And he's gone. That sure was something. Something is right. An insufferable asshole, more like... Hold on, who knows? There we go. Fair, but still. I mean, to be fair, it's also seeming to be classic America, too. Burn in hell, motherfucker! That said, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Nah, just your imagination. You there, the paper. Good lord, the stock market is a damn mess. What a nightmare. Tourists don't know how to shut up. The French are a bunch of stuck-up snobs. The pizza's awful. Nobody knows how to make spaghetti. Maybe I should just pack up my bags and forget it all. He's having a bad time, I guess. The hell is this? An article about the human voice? Scientists are studying the effect certain frequencies in the human voice have on the brain. Keep this mumbo-jumbo out of the paper. My God, save it for some paranormal or science magazine. Back to the stocks page. Ah, damn it, the wind got my hat. What is wrong with today? Believe this is yours. Ah, yeah, thank you. Pleasure is mine. Have a nice... hold on a second. Yes? First off, before I say anything, I am not trying to hit on you. Don't get the wrong idea. Now, have we met before? We have, yes. When and where? Long, long time ago. Much too long for you to remember. Excuse me? Our paths crossed in a mansion many, many years ago. I'm glad to see that you haven't changed a bit. Not particularly in the mood for jokes and supernatural nonsense today. I'm quite serious. One more question. Do we have any shared acquaintances? We do, yes. I could not say whether she's here or not. Hopefully you have the chance to cross paths with her. I, too, am looking for someone. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, goodbye. There are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. Over the years, they've grown gradually more distinct, and now at the age of 21, I remember everything. Were I to tell this to anyone, they would think me mad. So I've kept it to myself my whole life. I remember many ages ago there was a mansion. There I met and lost someone dear to me. There I waited for him to return. I remember all the centuries I spent waiting, and I remember he almost lost his soul trying to save me. I am once again waiting for him. I'm making my way to where the mansion once stood, a single red rose in hand. A rose containing all of my hopes, my dreams, my love. A prayer that it might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts after all. Probably sound like I'm out of my mind, waiting for a man who exists only in my memories. A man who, in my 21 years of life, I've never once even caught a glimpse of. That doesn't matter, because I know how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. Don't know when he'll show up, or if he even will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown old and died, but should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life, and the one after that, if I have to. I'll always be waiting, no matter how long it may take. How great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. I'll wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. So just promise, you'll come back for me. Mikhail. Actual credits. Well, damn. I gotta go see what else that artist has done. Moyotaro? Cause like, jeez, is this a distinct art style. Holy mother of pearl, like, such a distinct art style. I have to think I haven't seen it in other games, but like, who knows. I also have to assume this probably isn't the longest credit sequence. Most often, games like these don't actually have a ton of people working on it. The people who are clearly work hard and work well, but they don't tend to be we've already gone through the entire thing. Now we're just on like localization, limited run, fan box. Like, that was everyone who made this game already passed. I did not do that yet, and I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. I think we'll start with that next time. I think we're going to leave it on credits, give people time to process, and by people I mean me. But yeah. Next week we'll do endings, and I'm pretty sure I had heard a like bullet point note on like what some of the new content is, and to the best of my knowledge, the new content is seeing characters in the modern day, which I guess we just got a glimpse of, but presumably there's more of that, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I heard wrong. I don't know, but like, but that should be a fun like post thing to do. But like, even if that was it and we didn't have, oh, don't worry. You don't have to wait any longer. Giselle. I'm here for you.
Estou contando os dias que nós passamos. O que você esconde de toda calada?
Good.
Não me deixe somente. Olha, olha já.
There are memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls was unspeakable, but they are events I should never have forgotten, because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to get to all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle, your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. With that smile always at my side. And nothing to get in our way. Yeah, it is vaguely Vampire Hunter D-esque. I can definitely see the style being inspired by that, if not, well, not you know, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I ask of thee, O Father, to bestow upon their souls thy blessing. Oh, this would be Morgana then. May the world beyond be filled with light. So we get a new... Does it fill out some of these? We can hit this one now. Okay. Prologue. Our ending list is still rather incomplete. There's still quite a bit. I think that probably would have been about the end of the original run of the game, but this is the version with a little more extra stuff. So I think we get a prologue, and I think we get the Requiem for Innocence. I think is stuff that happens after, but also I don't know what Reincarnation short stories. Inspector Memories is just literally load file. So we got some stuff. Next week we'll start with that other ending because we know that's another ending. We're still obviously missing one, but I'm not going to worry about hunting that down right now because we have a ton of other stuff to do. I'll hunt that down. I guess we'll have 2 other endings, right? Because it looks like there's 3. I like that they changed that. Yeah, so assuming the one we would get by rushing out of the house is one of those 3, we'd still have 2 left. We are going to do Disco next, but we haven't seen what all this game has. Like, this version specifically has a bunch of extra content, and I'd like to go see that. I want to see the prologue. I want to see what these are. We got the base experience, and I'm going to need time to think on that. It was very good, but, like, going to need time to think on that. But yeah, next week we'll start going through more stuff. The art is super distinct. The writing is really good, the music is really good. Like, all of them kind of just feed into each other. I can't imagine this with a different composer. I can't imagine this with a different artist. Like, it really, they just meshed so well together. And the art is so unlike anything I've seen in a visual novel before. And the music is so unlike anything I've heard in a video game before. That, like, it gives it that borderline otherworldly air from the get-go. Like, damn. Literally, my internal monologue as we were going through the bits, freeing the souls, getting to the outside of the manor, I was like, damn, this is really emotional, really well done. Really glad that it's not hitting me nearly as hard as, like, I don't know, Labyrinth or anything, so cool, not gonna have to cry on camera again. Thanks, past me. You were wrong. So, you know. Yeah, I can see that. It is a very, like, 80s anime style. It's got that vibe, for sure. You summer child of, like, a half hour ago. But yeah, we clearly have a ton more stuff to go through, and I'm excited to go through it. I cannot wait to see what else we see of these characters. This has been a hell of a time. Obviously, we got big honkin' extra shoutouts for 7 for 97-month resubscription. And yeah, to everyone else joining on this wild ride. Again, this is the end of, like, the main stuff, but we clearly have other stuff to do. But, like, the main story, good, wrapped up. Got ourselves a monster, a quote, Discord. I apparently didn't start the other bot. I'm not even gonna. It's fine. I'm not starting it right now. Nani? Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viper Survival Land. Monday, Tuesday, Atelier. Thursday, Atelier. Saturday, Monster Hunter? Seems reasonable? Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Unless something else comes up out of nowhere or something, or we're, like, really close to Atelier and we want to, like, power through, I feel like Atelier, Monster Hunter sounds like a good week to me, and then back here. That's the low plan for now. There's also a non-zero chance of any of those boxes of cards I ordered coming in at any point, and then I'll open those. Either before a stream, maybe I'll give them their own stream. If there's a ton, there shouldn't be. We'll see. And look at that, we almost ended it perfectly on time anyway. The 2 update should be in September, probably. Whether I'll stream it or not, I don't know. But I'll definitely play it. Oh, the bonus things are fully voiced. Really? Cool. Takes a little work off of me. We'll see. I'm definitely curious to hear how they end up voiced. Bro voiced. I know they will be different from what I did, not just because I'm not a professional voice actor, but because I clearly bucked what they explained a character's voice sound like, at least for Protag, they explained that they really had a fairly neutral voice, and I clearly went, nah, go bring it down. So, nah, I'm gonna have to talk over him every single time. It's a VAD. I'm not saying it would be utterly impossible if I put my mind to it and really worked at it to be more of an actor and trained for it. And I wouldn't hate if somebody was like, hey, it's a great voice, you want to do some work for us?
Fishy.
But it's not something I'm actively seeking out. I have been paid for a single voice acting gig. My friend Kat had a podcast and wanted a stinger, like a you're listening to, and wanted me to do one. So I did. And I got paid a few bucks for it. It was 20 minutes work. It was nothing. It was only 20 minutes work because I sent an edited file and pronounced the name wrong the first time. So it was my own fault. But, technically I've been a paid voice actor. Just like technically I've been a paid musician. I've been paid to play guitar on stage with my dad's band in high school. So I'm a jack of all trades. But yeah. Still counts, 100%. It was a blast. Look at this man not do so much. So much. Win a game at Magic the Gathering lately. We literally just rolled credits, Zor! How dare you!